Thank you.
All right, we are live at the final table of the $400 Run Good Ring event. This is we called an audible. We got to the final table so fast that we went ahead and decided to stream this because they still have 3 tables left on the main event day 2. So this is a special treat. We didn't plan on it. Matt Osborne is going to be in here commentating this final table. And stay tuned because after this, we're going to stream the $100,000 Poker News Power Stack final table. So I'm going to let Matt Osborne take over and commentate this. Here you go, Matt.
All right. Thank you all for being here and joining us. This is exciting. We did not anticipate doing this. As Eric said, we were always planning on doing the final table of the 100K guarantee. This one just played down fast enough that we decided on a whim, let's throw it together and have some fun. So we're glad that you guys found us and you're going to join us and watch this one play down. It's a $400 buy-in. It is a ring event for Run Good. We're going to kick this action off. This is fantastic. Speaking of our main event final table, or not main event, but the 100K, that ended up being a $170,000 prize pool, and they are down currently at the start of this roughly around 18 players, I think, left. So this is back-to-back streams. This is exciting for us. You get stuck with a subpar commentator who has a ton of passion to actually play with live stream toys and see how this all goes together.
We're happy to have you out for this RunGood Series. Appreciate you. Thanks, Murph.
That was Mike Murphy in the background. He is the chief in charge for the Run Good tournament series here. It's his staff that is running the Run Good events.
Very quiet. Yeah. We were talking about that earlier with somebody else.
And we are good to go.
Didn't bother getting the mics out, so we gotta talk loud.
All right, and the action begins. So these players are all relatively new to me, but right out the gate, we've got Stephen W. with pocket aces in the cutoff. Not a bad place to be. All right, so Johnny in our chat is saying the sound is low. Johnny, are you saying the table sound is low, or am I low? Let me know, and we'll dial this in. Like I said, we put it together very, very fast, so we appreciate the interaction and the feedback. I say we. I appreciate it. Thank you. We have LC dealing in the box right now. She's one of the experienced final table live stream dealers. All right. First hand complete. Pocket aces is going to hold. All right, Johnny, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can adjust our mic levels. It is rare that anybody ever lets me touch any of these buttons. So we're going to do this. You tell me how that sounds. If it's too loud, let me know. You can hear the players having a good time. This has been a very entertaining table out on the floor as they were playing down to the final table. Blinds currently, we are on level 11. Blinds are 1.5, 3,000, 3,000. All right. James G in the cutoff. King 7 suited. And as I was saying, this table, let's do this. If that is easier to hear me, let me know. I have readjusted the microphone closer. Thank you for the suggestion. We'll see if this is, I naturally talk kind of quiet, so we're going to see if we can't both project a better voice and move the mic closer to my mouth. Going into this, we do have 4 clubs. James G is probably liking this flop fairly well. Easy game, and he picks up the check mark and the win and moves on to the next. These players have been playing down Yes. In chat, Johnny is confirming I am a soft speaker. All right. We can continue to adjust this. We will make sure this works. So let's do that. And you can tell me as we go. I'll keep tweaking this and we'll see if it gets better or worse. All right. Steven is now with Ace King offsuit. We can see James in the hijack with King Deuce suited. Definitely not going to play. Do look for Paul T to maybe get curious with the Queen 10. Nope. These players are playing a little bit differently now that they're on the live stream than we saw earlier. Some of that is the function of being on live stream. There's jitters that take place, but John B just connected with trip sixes on this flop. Now, this type of board does not favor ace-king, so it's going to be an easy let go. But not in this case. Ace-king did not anticipate the big blind having any part of this flop. That might have been a misfire. He does go all in. Quickly, the king six, trip sixes, calls him down. And now we have an all in. You can see LC. She's with the headset. They're getting everything favored here. And at this point, that is the end. Nice playing. And we have our first victim of the final table. Thank you, Steven, for joining us today. Yeah, this table is very quiet. We are typically used to cash tables being a lot more vocal. They're a lot more jovial. It's more social. Tournament tables tend to be quieter. Also, what we've learned, what you guys may or may not know, is that players, when they're playing tournaments, typically have some other distraction going on in their ears. They have headphones. They have different things to kind of keep them entertained. Once they're in the live stream room, they have none of that. No smartphones, no headphones, no smartwatches, nothing that they would normally rely on when their ADHD kicks in. So now they just have to talk to each other in a social environment, and a lot of times streams will start out the first half hour fairly quiet. Now, if you are not currently in the room with us, which shame on you, just kidding. We do have other events going on. We have a high-low game that just started here about 45 minutes ago. It is a $400 buy-in Big O event, also a ring event for RunGood Series. This is the Passport Season Series. That event has roughly 3.5 hours left in registration, so you can come in and enjoy high-low fun. And then we have another event coming up later this evening at 7 p.m. I'm checking the amount right now. It is a $280 buy-in for that one. That is No Limit Hold'em event satellite for the main event. So if you have any interest in playing the main event and you want to try your luck with a satellite, you can come in and join us tonight at 7 p.m. Johnny in chat says he's sure he has ADHD. I suspect many poker players probably do. It kind of seems to go hand in hand, I've noticed. And right now, as we anticipate, this table is just feeling each other out right now. They have been playing generally with each other. Most of this is the same grouping that was together, but the live stream adds a new dynamic. Everybody's got to settle their nerves and then they'll come back into it. While that's happening, we also have our very first seniors event here at Palace Poker. That's going to be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. It is a $250 buy-in, 20,000 starting stack, 30-minute levels, 20,000 guarantee. Very excited for that. Back to the hand. Glenn with King 8 suited under the gun does come in with a raise to 9,000. Let's see if anybody looks him up. Looks like just the pocket twos. Gonna get frisky and peek a flop, see if they can set mine. The twos are ahead currently. The king eight's gonna have to catch up and does that right on the flop. The twos are behind, but little do they know they do have a diamond. The only diamond in play at the moment.
Bet 5,000.
Now we'll see if John is gonna come along with that two of diamonds. And of course he doesn't. As we move on to the next, you can see that there is a wide range between the stacks in play right now. Our smallest stack on the table is Ben in the cutoff currently with 17 big blinds. Our largest stack is just over 110 big blinds. And there's a lot of play left on this table to go. We have another satellite for the main event taking place tomorrow at 2 p.m. And if you don't quite qualify for the seniors that's taking place at 10 a.m., you can join us perhaps for dinner time at 6 p.m. We have a black chip bounty tournament, $400 buy-in. Each black chip is worth $100. 30-minute levels, 10K guarantee, and a 20,000 starting stack. That's 6 p.m. tomorrow. Harold on the button, king 4 suited. You can see him wanting to protect his position, raises it up. Fairly standard raise. Big blind completes, also defending his blind. We are heads up to the flop. Neither player connecting with the flop. So much of No Limit Hold'em is all about post-flop play.
Bet 10,000.
This is the second time now we've seen Glenn lead out when there was an uncontested flop leading on the turn. And both times, it is enough to take down the pot.
2-4 now.
I think one of the unique events we have coming up in this series is going to be on Tuesday night. So many people are talking about it. We have a Run Good tag team event. This one it's $150 per player, $300 per team, 10K guarantee, 10,000 starting stack. Tag team events are a lot of fun. If you've never played them, you can come and join. You pick a partner, and both of you are playing the same. So much fun. It's organized chaos, lots of laughs, lots of smiles. Harold in the cutoff, 3-4 suited. This is one of my hands that I love so much. He elects not to play it. I am clearly much more aggressive, which is why I commentate and don't play. I'm going to take a moment and just once again on air say how much we are appreciative of Run Good coming to our club here, Palace Poker. We are located in Grand Prairie, Texas. Run Good has been a class act operation from beginning to end, and we cannot say enough just how smooth and easy their team makes every bit of running tournaments look. And you can see our chip leader. The blinds have gone up, which is why you see our chip leader with James G now dropping down to 85 bigs, but that's a byproduct of the blinds increasing, not him losing a hand. Blinds now on level 12 are 2,000, 4,000, 4,000. Hand number 7 at this final table. For those that are listening or watching along, is there a particular player at this final table that you are rooting for or that you personally know and you are celebrating the wins right along with them? Let us know. Always happy to hear background stories for players that I don't know. There's only one player here at this table that I personally know. Harold now in the hijack with ace-deuce suited. Gonna come along. We can see in the cutoff, ace-4 suited from Reed right behind him.
Oh yeah, we're 8. I'm sorry, 8,000.
Glenn on the button, pocket sevens. Now we've seen Glenn essentially be the most aggressive player at the table.
6 calls. 7 calls.
Do look for this to be a multi-way flop. So we got 4 players going into this flop. This is the most action we've had yet leading into it. And the pocket sevens do connect with bottom set. And then 10-8 for the straight out of the small blind with James G. He's doing the sneaky check. Sevens are going to lead out. James is loving what he's seeing. Now he just has to decide what he wants to do here. He's going to put in some raising chips. We just got to see how much it's going to be. No, just a smooth call. He wants to keep him on the hook. So Glenn doesn't know he's behind. He's going to need something to pair up. And first pitch right on the turn. He's going to get it. So now the check. Both are trapping. If this goes double trap again, I would be shocked. Now Glenn does have a full house. However, once the jack pairs up, that is a little bit worrisome. I still think he's going to put in a raise. But he does have a little bit out there that he still is worried. No, just a call. These players are much less aggressive than I think commentators are. So we do see the check mark goes to the full house. 7 full of jacks. He did lose the minimum. You can hear him saying it on the table mic. Johnny in chat is asking, do we have brushes and chip runners in our room? Yes. So we do have brushes in the string every now and then when we need to. We do hire chip runners as well. We offer both in the room as positions, and I believe we're hiring. We at Palace here are always adding to the schedule. We do have new events coming all of the time. We love every opportunity to show off our staff in our room. The 2 things that make Palace Poker special above all else. If you are not familiar with where Grand Prairie is, we are roughly 10 minutes from downtown Dallas, 7 minutes away from Arlington proper, Six Flags or Texas Stadium, maybe 15-20 minutes away from the DFW airport. Very easy to get to us. We're right off Highway 30. And to the flop we go. Another player connecting with this flop.
Mine's at 65.
Anytime I get to commentate, I always like to let everyone know it's always unique. When you have a dealer that has a headset on the live stream, it is no different for any live stream, but they have to broadcast the action, which is the opposite of what they are told to do on regular tables out on the main floor. Regular tables, dealers do not commentate any part of the action whatsoever. On live stream, they're required to commentate all the action. So in the headset, they're speaking to somebody on the other end in a production room that also has a headset on. And the dealer has to say every action, and then somebody on the other side of the headset is at a computer, and they input that action step by step. So the dealer is quite literally saying, seat 3, fold, seat 4, call, seat 5, fold, seat 6, raise, and then they'll give the amount of the raise. And they have to do this every seat, every action, every hand. So we see on the button, Queen Jack offsuit for the dealer. James G with Ace 8 offsuit. Heads up to a flop. Oh, and hits Queen Jack 2 pair from the button position.
7 bets 10,000. 1 is all in. 7
Very quick decisions. You can see the payout scrolling on the bottom. The next position is going to get paid $747. Here's the chip counts, both represented in stack total and big blinds. The big blinds make it very easy from the home to follow along, know exactly where these players are relative to the blind level. Yes, Johnny in chat says, remind me never to deal a live stream table. It is definitely not for everyone, and there are so many different variables that make live stream dealing much more difficult than typical dealing. Live stream cards are thicker than regular cards. If your hands are not used to that, they'll cramp easier. The mechanics are all a little bit goofier. The deck is, I don't know, maybe 15-20% thicker than a normal deck. So all of these things kind of make you reposition what you normally do as muscle memory. And we are seeing very quick decision making. Nobody's going into the tank up to this point. Very plug and play poker. As we said at the start of this, you can see the table is feeling each other out. They are more accurately getting comfortable with the live stream setup, I think. Just now starting to adjust to each other's stack sizes. You can see the payout. They are playing for just over $6,500 for first. And once again, this was a $400 buy-in event. They are playing for a ring, and for the second time at this table, we have Reed with pocket aces now under the gun. It is currently $4,000 to call. He does a 1-unit raise to $8,000. Harold with Queen Jack out of the big blind. So we see a defense from the small blind with Queen 4 suited. Looking for a lucky flop, and Queen Jack definitely looks defendable from the big blind. The aces are very well disguised, I think, in the under the gun position here, which is the best position at this moment to make a move because this table hasn't shown a lot of aggression yet. And you can see not enough to come along with. He's going to take it down. And on to the next. Level 12. Blinds are 2,000, 4,000, 4,000. Hand 13. You can see right now is a very lively final table. Back to Glenn, under the gun with Queen 3 suited. Not going to make a move on this one. All the twos seem to be out. Right now we are just playing around to the cutoff. Sensing weakness, he's going to try and take control of this pot. And the blinds are probably going to not want to mix in too much. We are heads up to a flop. Dealer has 10-jack offsuit, and Benjamin in the cutoff has ace-7. Neither one of them connecting. Benjamin's going to lead out once again, keeping the story alive of what he's telling with his chips pre-flop. John is feeling sticky, sensing that it's a story. And just like that. So as a result of that, Benjamin is now down to 10 big blinds. Plenty of money left, or plenty of chips left to still make proper moves, but his decision making is going to start becoming more binary. Tournament play is so much different than cash play. Cash players can always rebuy or top off at any point and stay with the action on the table as they're playing. Tournament poker, you are playing for your life within that game. We do see pocket kings. Also does a 1 unit raise, very standard. Paul with pocket threes, now not having a whole lot to play with, is probably thinking threes look like aces right now. So we see him coming along with the call for the 8,000. Comes around to the big blind. Glenn has ace-8 offsuit. We see him playing this hand range at the very start of this stream. He does come along for this one as well, so we are three-way to a flop. Kings are going to have to fade an ace and a set minor. Just like that. No stress for the Kings. Hits top set on this flop. So now we're going to see he elects to go for a trap play. Paul is going to probably try and take control of this since no one else wants to. Now we see that that's not the best timing. I do think that it was a proper move. He needs to see where he's at in this hand. There's no other way to do it than betting. No one was giving him any information by checking. Pocket kings, now a set of kings, just smooth calls. Probably going to now check again. Wants to see what Paul's going to do. Paul now knows he needs to see if he can hit a 3. That's his only way out, and that would be a death move for him. No change to anything. Kings are not going to check here.
Bet 10,000.
The set of kings leads out a bet of 10,000. Shows his threes and folds. He does not show his set of kings wisely, and we're on to the next. This is still a very, very quiet final table. We do have the mics turned up relatively loud. The live stream room is just being very quiet. Players are not chatting with each other, not feeling social. Generally, there's usually enough conversation going on that you really don't hear the dealer talking so much into the headset. Today, we can hear everything. Pocket kings, very next hand. John B in the hijack. King of diamonds, king of clubs. Going to come along, elects for a 3-unit raise. 3x to 12,000. Herald in the cutoff does not come into play. The dealer button doesn't come in. I see pocket 8s from Glenn, though, out of the small blind. I do expect him to come along. I think he's just going to flat the 12,000. And that's exactly what he does. We're going to be heads up to this flop. Pocket 8s versus pocket kings. Neither one connecting with the flop. Kings are still ahead. Now we have a $15,000 bet from the Kings, keeping control of this pot, making any of the draws pay. There is a spade draw out there. There's possibility of straight draws. So he is going to keep the pressure on, I think, from here on out. There's too much that he wants to avoid. Pairing up the 5 probably doesn't give him too much pause. It is something to make note of. I'm sure he doesn't like the lead out. He's just going to flat the call. Neither player liking this queen at all. It's just going to go check, check. Kings are going to take the check mark and very happy to come away with chips out of this pot. It's difficult to get a scarier run out than that when you have pocket kings. Johnny, thank you for following along in chat. I appreciate the feedback back and forth. My name is Matthew Osborne. I forgot to introduce myself. I know Eric started the introduction, and then I just started speaking right away as I ran into the room and put on a headset. I am one of the managers here at Palace Poker. Eric runs our live stream, all of our production teams. He puts the streams together. Normally, Lorenzo's our producer that is in the booth, pushing all the buttons and making everything smooth. Right now, they left me alone in the booth with all the buttons. So I am pressing what I can and hoping not to turn off the stream accidentally. Harold now with ace-10 offsuit and the hijack is going to come along, putting together some raising chips. Raises to 8,500, and we quickly get a call right behind him. So this is potentially going to be a multi-way pot. You can hear some laughter on the table. So we are 4-way to a flop. 7-3-2 is not really in anybody's range. At the moment, the wheel is possible out of the big blind, looking for a 4 or running clubs. Now we do have 4 clubs coming from the cutoff. Reed is going to come out, try and build a pot, just in case that flush does hit, or he can take this down in a cheap fashion and move on to the next. Now our big blind might decide to be a little bit sticky and just see what happens. He has the ace of clubs. That backdoor flush is something that could get him paid off depending on how cheap he can get through this run out. We do see the payouts listed below once again. Everybody at this table is now in the money. Our big blind has a lucky connection. Now he does have a pair of aces. He's also drawing with the 4 to a wheel. Let's see what he does. I do think he's going to bet out. I would look for something around 20,000. No, he goes all in. He is trying to chase away the flush entirely. I think that's a fantastic move. I don't know that the flush comes along for this. I certainly couldn't. This will be a moment I fold and move on. Absolutely.
I'm not going to say you embarrass me there. We're going to find out.
Now you hear them. This is what the experience was out on the main floor. It was a lot more laughter, a little bit more ribbing out there. They're starting to settle their nerves and get back into play. All right, let's see what magic happens this hand. Right now, it's just a bunch of trash cards. Nobody's getting anything even remotely playable in their minds. Sometimes you gotta make moves outside of the cards. Small blind looks to defend his small. Big blind is probably just going to put a light raise in. Chad is asking, do I golf? You know what? Golf is something I'm interested in learning. I never have. My majority golf experience is either the putt-putt variety or Top Golf. Both are fun to me. I've never done traditional golf. I have gone to driving ranges with friends from time to time, but never actually learned to play, and I would love to. These days, I don't have enough time, I think, to really even pick up the habit to learn it. But eventually, one day when things slow down just enough that Palace doesn't need me all the time, then maybe I can start going out and golf. JT, one of our other managers here in the room, golfs semi-regularly. So I think it'd be fun to get out there in the springtime. I don't think golfing in the summer here in Texas sounds fun to me, but you tell me. If you guys out there golf, let me know. When's the best time to go golfing? And do you golf in the summertime? Glenn now in the hijack. Raises to 9,000 with 7-8 suited diamonds. I do like that hand. We see a few playable hands here. James G in the cutoff. With King 10 offsuit. Paul right now with King Queen offsuit in the small blind. We see a lot of diamonds here. And to the flop we go. We are 4-way to it. One diamond somehow managed to make this way to the flop. A pair of 8s for Glenn. Currently ahead in this flop. That's only going to add to it. Glenn now is looking for the 6 to make a straight. Nobody has a flush draw. And we have an all-in with the call. 3-5. Suited is all in with the pair of 5s. We do get the call from 7-8. Pair of 8s is ahead. Ben is all in for his tournament life. At risk. And that is enough to eliminate Ben. He is our second victim at this table. We are now 7-handed. With that,
Pretty dull stream so far.
you can hear them saying pretty dull stream. I'm inclined to agree. This one has been slow to kick off, but I think it's going to pick up speed.
It's been going fast. This is Eric Anderson, live stream producer. Dan just showed up. He came in early.
Nice.
He thought he messed up because I told him we'd be at the final table about 7. So he's sitting at home, gets a YouTube notification because he likes and follows YouTube,
As we all
and
should.
thought he missed it. And he's like, "Oh, boss, what? I'm so sorry." I'm like, "No. This was an impromptu."
It's a bonus stream.
Yeah, this is a bonus stream. So he's like, I can be there in 20 minutes. So he's up there now. They're on break. Perfect timing. Just as they went on a break, he showed up. They're going to race off those 500 chips, and we're good to go now.
I like it. Well, we just saw Benjamin get eliminated, so now for us, we're down to 7-handed.
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys hear it now. We've got Dan coming in, an actual commentator, to join me. Much to the benefit of everyone listening and watching, I'm sure.
Dan is running Action Tracker.
Oh,
He is a beast on Action Tracker.
I did not know.
He is so good.
Ah, look at that. So Dan is new to the team, but not new to us.
No.
We've known Dan for a while.
He commentated for us years ago, and last week he just said, "Hey man, I want to do anything. What do you got for me?" And I was like, "Well, let's try this out." And he is so good. He is so good. I was so excited to have him on the team.
Nice. Well, we see Reed under the gun, 10-jack offsuit. Oh, we just saw Asian Sensation in the background walking through. You can see him going into the production room now with coffee.
Yeah, he brought me a drink.
John out of the small blind, queen 10 of diamonds, coming along to defend. So looking for an opportunity to take out an all-in player.
Yeah, he only had 41.5, which was,
Yeah, 10 bigs.
yeah, so
Yeah,
it was a good shove hand.
it absolutely is. I don't blame him at all. 10-jack offsuit,
yeah.
under the gun. He had to make a decision. He's getting maximum equity.
Yeah, especially you want to do that under the gun before you have to pay your ante.
That's right.
So that's great.
Reed is at risk with his all-in, so has a live jack.
Great.
Yeah, we see backdoor flush possibilities for John. These are materializing.
Now he needs a jack that is not the diamond.
Yeah, does not get there, and now Reed has been eliminated, and we're down to six-handed just that fast. Reed is going to make $898 for his play today, and we appreciate him coming in and joining us. Sixth place is going to make just over $1,100. And just like that, final six players. Once again, they are playing for a ring today.
Yeah, those rings are so nice. The jewelry.
Incredible. And that's one of those I can't wait to find out. I don't know who on the RunGood team is designing these rings, but they need to be publicly celebrated. They are something else.
It's nice. It's nice. So I do ask LC to turn the clock on over her on her tablet so we can see over her shoulder and see how much time is left in
For the levels?
Yeah,
that's helpful.
just to give it to some perspective, because the picture-in-picture that we normally use is set up for the day 2 100K event.
Yep.
I don't want to call it 100K, 170K event.
That's what I was going to say. That's exciting.
And so I can't use the picture-in-picture, so we just need to look over her shoulder now.
More fun this way. Easy enough to do, though. I like this angle.
And this is, I think we're going to get one hand in, and then they're going to go on break.
Nice. So it sounds like this is going to be the last cheap hand at 2,000, 4,000, 4,000. Hand 22 of this final table, 6 players remaining.
I advocated for skipping the break, but they had to race off the chips, and they didn't really get a break before coming to the final table. So they took their break. They might cut it short. They might decide they don't need the full 15 minutes.
Yeah. Which only benefits us. So that we can reset and get ready then for the final table of our marquee event this weekend.
Down to 2 tables in that one, 18 players left.
Oh, my goodness. We were notating that this table, while out on the floor, most of these players came off the same table, and it was a very lively table, part of what was making it play down so fast. Once they got into the stream, everything went quiet. Everything felt timid.
So Quad J there in the 7 seat with the yellow hat.
Yes.
James G on the screen, but we know him as Quad J Gravitt.
Yeah, we do.
He's got a big pile of chips.
Yeah, he came in dominating as chip leader. He has not relinquished his position. Glenn has been stealing pots. Almost 2 hands per orbit. He has managed to steal. I very much enjoy watching Glenn's game. Jay is a very patient player, or James in this case.
Johnny, we use faded spade cards along with WSOP. A bunch of people use faded spade for the live stream, if that's what you're asking. Glenn's gonna win with that jack on the turn.
That lucky turn. It's enough to get in there. Glenn just snuck in as the new chip leader.
I'm gonna click a button here. Did you want to talk during the break, or did you want to take a break during the break?
I think I'll sneak a quick break in.
All right, go ahead. I'm going to hit countdown then, and we're going to go on break. All right, we are coming back from break just a few minutes early.
All right.
6 players left. This is Eric Anderson, and I am in the booth with Matthew Osborne.
Welcome back, everyone. And here we go. We're down to the final 6 players. We are back from break. The color up is done. We look for action to go much faster now.
All right, we are coming back from break just a few minutes.
And here we go. First hand back from break. The blinds have gone up. We can see John beat with 2-5 suited in the hijack position.
You would go home and see if you got fluff off this flush draw.
Okay, got you. 9-2,
And-
fold, 3 fold. 6 folds.
We see James in the small blind with ace queen offsuit. He's going to put in a raise to 13,000. We haven't seen anybody else really have anything to come along with and defend.
I don't want to see that. Just to make them wait for the screen. He just needs to know that one.
Quad J. That's what he normally goes by when he plays on the cash stream. His
Quad
screen name
J?
is Quad J.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, we've known Jay for quite a few years now. It's always great to see Jay in the room. All right. Under the gun, we've got ace deuce suited with John. Currently is 5K to call. Glenn with queen jack offsuit in the cutoff. And pocket jacks in the dealer position. Speaking of quad J, this seems like it's almost spoken into existence. This is his hand. He has the J's. Pocket jacks. Now John B in under the gun position raised it up to 15,000 from 5,000 to 15. James is going to re-raise. 3 bets it, 65,000 defending his jacks, making it very expensive to come along. Now, Jay does not show the jacks. He did show the ace-queen on the previous hand. Gives the impression that he's starting to get aggressive, stealing pots. And Jay is a very historically patient player. This is still a very relatively quiet table. Simple, simple things. Plug and play. Let's go ahead and throw up. Let's see what our VPIP is for these players so that we kind of get an idea. So Glenn is now at the top. He's got 40% VPIP. VPIP stands for voluntary put in pot. All of this kind of checks out to what we're seeing. Very similar VPIPs across the board. We see Paul. Ace-4 offsuit out of the dealer button. Right now he hasn't had a whole lot of cards, so he's probably going to put in a small raise. Now pocket tens in the small blind. 3 bets to 100,000. Wanting to just cut off the pot right here. Not looking to mess around anymore. Eric, I know that you are sometimes listening to these as they go along. I have lost my skin that tells me how many big blinds we have for each position. So if you can tell me how to bring that back up so that the players at home can follow along with me as well, we can track what these stack sizes are. All right. So quad J James himself with queen 10 offsuit under the gun. Not going to get it mixed up with a mid-level hand. John now out of the dealer position. He's going to come along and raise with king queen offsuit. Nobody else really has anything that they're going to come along with unless somebody's just feeling frisky and thinking they're going to try and steal it back. John's going to take the check mark, and he does. And we are on to the next. You can see now the blinds are 3-5-5. We see the clock right now coming in. We got 24 minutes left in this level.
I hate these guys. I'm not talking to anyone.
You can hear the players saying exactly what we're saying, that nobody's talking. You can hear a little bit of movement in the background behind me. Eric came running in to help solve my problem. All right, pocket fives now under the gun. We are heads up to this flop. Queen 8 offsuit versus pocket fives. We do have a suited flop. Pocket fives has a club in his hand. He's the only one. He is currently ahead. Now a 10 would give James a straight. And that is not the 10 that James wanted. I don't know, though, that a 5 of clubs is going to lead anybody into confidence with their flush. James may be able to steal this pot with a little bit of aggression on the river. He is the first to act. I would look for him to just peek at it. Through.
Production side. Production side.
Yeah.
He had to, when they were zoomed out, that strip stack was over the player's face.
Ah,
So he took it out.
I gotcha.
And he came and fixed the cameras. He didn't turn the strip stack back on, so we're good.
No, this is great. Always like pulling back the curtain and seeing the wizard work. So we see Paul under the gun raise with ace deuce suited. Raises it up to 12,000 from 5. Blinds are 3-5-5,000. Level 13, we can see it right now. Hand number 30 in this final table. Ooh, it's a race. That's what's the over-under. It is. We do like to sound happy. Yeah. Sometimes we're very happy. Yeah, you are. That is absolutely accurate.
On my camera. Would you say OnlyFans?
Yeah, no, only things.
Isn't that the truth? That is one of the things I'll tell people from time to time. They're like, oh, is your job stressful? I mean, it is, but also we're paid to manage a game. In the scheme of things, this feels like a pretty good way to live life.
You need any special guests?
Oh my goodness, can you imagine? Glenn now with pocket aces. This is the third time we've seen aces at this table, and I think the second time that Glenn has seen them at this table. So Glenn has not had to show the pots he's been stealing. So this just feels, yeah, under the gun, but he has such a stack. So far, Glenn has not been pushed back. So nobody has really looked him up with any kind of aggression yet. He's been able to drive every narrative that he's wanted. So pocket eights versus pocket aces. Yeah, both players flop 2 pair.
40,000, 2 raises.
Yeah. Yeah, because this looks like it favors your flop. Yeah. Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah. He's not going to like that turnover. He's drawing to the only 2 8s left. That's all that's going to save him. And they are live. Yeah. Now, John is not at risk. Even if he loses this pot, he will still have chips to play. Yeah. Yeah, but this is going to put Glenn as chip leader. And in a dominating fashion. Look at that. It really is. Yeah, that's insane. But as we've seen, we saw it with the industry tournament. So much can change as these progress down. But knowing that Glenn is now the chip leader, we have seen Glenn willing to get in and mix it up and drive his narrative. I think he is going to continue keeping his foot on the gas on this final table and pushing his stack around a little bit. So he built his stack up to the point that it was just by stealing pots. He, I think, made a move into a pot. Oh, it was the flush, the pocket fives that got him. He had the straight. Yeah, James made a non-flush straight and made a few bets and got called down by pocket fives with a 5 of clubs that did have the flush. So you see him with king 8 suited in the cutoff. We've seen James play this range and this position a few times. Now he will fold, as we've seen, king jack out of position, but in position he's a little bit more favorable to suited hands.
2 calls, heads up.
James in the cutoff. He is currently ahead with king 8 suited. He's going against queen 6 offsuit. Go to a flop. He does connect top pair with the king. Yeah, he is. I don't know that there's enough here for John being our big blind to come along. He's going to check. James is going to bet. John's going to fold. Yeah, on to the next. It did. I mentioned it at the start of this tournament, letting everyone know if you're a high-low player, that is definitely one to come into. Big. I think it's 400. It is. It is 15K guarantee, $400 buy-in. That's, yeah, I think you're right. And right now, yeah, it's doing well. There's 2.5 hours left in registration. Yeah.
Raises to 15,000, 7 folds.
Yeah. Absolutely. Push back against him.
9 folds.
That's right. Trying to ladder up. Yep. Oh my goodness. Yep. No, not at all. So you're going to play it safe.
Hey, look. I'm not having it. I need a better spread to wear my long sleeve.
330 and 70. Yeah, I think it's 330. Yeah, that event, we still have 2.5 hours left in registration. In the prize pool, it was a 15K guarantee. We're already almost at 21,000 now. This is going to be a 30K prize pool, I think. I think we're going to double it. Which is a perfect opportunity to say thank you guys for coming into the Palace and showing up and supporting these events. We've been very excited to have RunGood here with this series. We've been looking forward to this now for months. Actually seeing it here is surreal. Watching players show up because they're excited, best outcome. They were, they were definitely not quite certain with the same confidence. Yeah. We are very happy to have our 5-card crowd here. The industry event. That's right. Yeah. Everything else has been. That's the group to give it to. Plus. And watching Satika just kind of bulldoze her way through the ebbs and flows of that final table was a joy. Yeah, we really do. The players here, the members that support Palace Poker day in and day out, we love them. Oklahoma, yeah. Our production is in. Look at Lorenzo coming into the clutch. So he is our operator behind the scenes that runs the board, creates the transitions, and most of the graphics that you see in the live stream. I'm telling you, I was singing Lorenzo's praises the other night. I'll do some more now. So he is a wizard when it comes to his computer and what he's been doing for live stream. We're happy to have him on the team. And always sharp dressed. Yeah, Lorenzo's definitely a champ.
Yeah.
All right.
When they asked me to fill, I left my code box somewhere. It's either on table 4 or it's at the DC desk. It's 12.
That's right, because she was, so our dealer here, LC, she was on her way out the door. She was done with her shift in her day, and she was leaving, and I happened to catch her because we did not anticipate putting this stream together. This was, again, a bonus stream, impromptu, that we rushed together very, very fast. And we didn't have a live stream dealer off the table that we could pull to put in here. And then I see her on her way out, caught her really fast, asked her to come back to work and do this stream, and she was very gracious to say, yeah, absolutely. What I didn't know is she came in so quickly that she put her tip box or tote box down where she was and came right in. So now she was mentioning it to Eric. So just to let him know, if somebody could just keep control of that. She would like to be paid for her efforts today. That seems fair and reasonable. We see Mutu right now, king 9 out of the big blind. Gonna take the check mark, uncontested. We're still 6-handed. We're going into 36th hand. Blinds are still 3,000, 5,000, 5,000. We can kind of see the clock peeking over LC's shoulder. LC is our dealer in the box. She is locked into this final table. And now we see John B with pocket nines under the gun. He has 16 big blinds right now. He's going to come along into this pot. Chooses to raise it to 12,000. I think that's a healthy raise, but poor timing for John B. Glenn now has pocket queens. He's in the cutoff. Glenn is also our chip leader. We know he's going to want to put him all in. No doubt about it. He's just looking for what it's going to take. Yep. And here we go. So John B is at risk now and behind. Pocket nines versus pocket queens. Our chip leader has pocket queens, is leading into this flop. Deborah in chat is asking if LC is the same dealer from the lodge. Yes, you are correct. You are recognizing her. Oh, and just like that, John B connects with a set of nines on this flop, and now Glenn is chasing. A king or a queen puts Glenn back in control. Does not get it. John B doubles up. Puts him into a very nice, decent stack at 35 big blinds. But yes, LC does come to us by way of the lodge. We've seen her on many streams at the lodge, and we're happy to have her here at Palace Poker in Grand Prairie. Deborah in chat says she loves the Final Table streams. Thank you so much for supporting the streams and watching along with us. For those that are new to the stream right now, my name is Matthew Osborne. I am one of the managers here. I am not a regular commentator, nor am I by any means someone who generally commentates. This was a bonus impromptu stream. We didn't have the staff put together scheduled. We do have a stream after this that has been planned. So since this was a new one, I volunteered to jump in. You guys get the very rookie stream commentator. But I'm happy to join along. I do like to follow the action, and I don't get too often, so this is fun for me. Thank you guys for supporting it. Deborah says that LC is a great dealer. I couldn't agree more. Not only a great dealer, just professional all around. Her professionalism as she traverses through the room. She's wonderful. James with pocket tens and the cutoff. We can see that this is heads up on the flop. Johnny in chat, thank you so much for the accolades. These streams are a lot of fun to put together. They do take a tremendous undertaking behind the scenes. So to do anything well always takes quite a few people. The production team for Palace Poker that puts these streams together is so passionate about the skill set and what they do. Lorenzo, Eddie, Eric, these people eat, sleep, and breathe live stream and poker. I can tell you in their various facets, they are all experts in this industry at what they do. So these productions are no small undertaking. James now, pocket queens in the hijack. My early prediction is I'm going to say now that I think this comes down to, if I had to predict it, would be a Glenn James heads-up match at the end. Those are the two that I would claim. We are seeing the players open up their range and their play quite a bit now over the last 5 to 10 hands. The blinds going up are a byproduct of that new aggression. I'm sure everybody's VPIP is going to start going up. These small to middle stacks have to start making moves and counter moves. We see that James is still ahead with pocket queens. Harold is not connected to anything. I don't see him doing anything frisky here. He's going to move on for a better spot, and James is going to take the easy check mark. Doing everything he can to catch up to Glenn. And now we see the parity at the bottom end is leveling out. Plenty of bigs for everyone to play at the moment. Paul right now is on the bottom end of the range. He's in position on the button. He's got 18 big blinds at 91,000. We're still at level 13. The blinds are still 3,000, 5,000, 5,000 as we go into hand 39.
Yeah, queens? I queen. I'm glad the queen didn't come. I'm also glad that 9 wasn't my card either.
Johnny in chat says production is fun. Absolutely right. Production is fun, also stressful to do it at a high level. So it takes a sizable budget for this equipment. And we are fortunate. We have an ownership group and a president that have invested heavily to make sure that we can put the highest quality stream together and also the highest quality room together. And to that, we thank both of them for committing their resources to making this a possibility that we get to run a top 5 room in the country. As I continually argue, I think Palace is on the path to being in the discussion of the most beautiful room in the country and one of the best to come and visit. And if you are local to DFW, what a beautiful resource to have in your backyard as a country club of poker. I say all that to say I'm biased, though. Well, I've been in this industry a long time, and I've never personally been involved in anything that looks or feels like Palace Poker does. It is a treat. Under the gun, ace-3 suited is now coming in. We see James in the big blind now with pocket 3s going to this flop as well. King Jack 4 on the flop. Top pair for Glenn. Glenn's in the small blind. He checks with a trap in mind. 3s are still mining. And Muthu is coming along with ace-3, not wanting to let this go by cheaply. He's going to take control if no one else is interested in it. We can see Glenn is going to cut out chips and come along. Now, with the story that Glenn's telling, I'm going to just go ahead and predict that he's going to check the turn no matter what it is. And he's hoping that Muthu is going to lead out. He wanted to see what his commitment was. Now it feels like a draw for the club, and if the club doesn't drop, he's going to feel pretty confident betting out. We can see here, Muthu did get the lucky river bet with a pair of aces. He is going to call. We have seen him in this position now at 3 other hands, and on all 3 he has chosen to call. This is just valued enough to keep him interested. He's not going away for this amount. And he's going to take the check mark for his efforts. And that now puts him into a number 3 position on stack size. Paul is still at the bottom with 18 big blinds, sitting very patiently with his stack. Harold has been card dead, and you can see the frustration, but he is looking for an opportunity to leverage his 23 big blinds any chance he can. This is still a wide open race. Anybody can take it. Hand 41. Blinds are 3,000, 5,000, 5,000. Now, because Harold's been card dead, we've been saying this before, ace-6, generally not thought of as a great hand. When you're card dead, seeing that ace all of a sudden gets you thinking, maybe it's better than you remembered it. Let's take a peek and see what happens. Now James in the small blind, I could see him putting in an easy flat here and then trying to position a steal no matter what comes up. We are heads up to the flop. Neither player. No, excuse me. Harold did connect. Harold now with the 6. That's almost the best outcome he could have hoped for. With James betting into him, I don't think Harold's going to go anywhere here. So he took a flyer, got just about everything he wanted out of it. I wish Harold could have found a raise right there. Tried to take it down as it was. I think every turn card is going to be scary to him, but this might be enough now. It's going to be a disguised, yep, with the check. It's going to be a disguised pair of queens. And now I look for James to flat it. No, he goes all in. He wants to shut it down right now. I think he is putting Harold on a heart draw. I don't see a path on how Harold calls here, but with only 15 big blinds left, he may think this is just a steal. And I think James is in a spot where he may have made this move if there was no heart on the turn, regardless of what happened. His call felt like he was positioning for a steal if he didn't hit anything with strength. And he gets the call. Here we go. So now, Harold is at risk. He is drawing to either an ace or a 6. He has 5 outs remaining. 1 card to go. And if James holds the check mark on this, he will become our new chip leader. Oh, he did not hold the check mark. That ace did fall. Harold got the ace that he needed. That is going to severely cripple James now, and Harold has a nice come up. You can see the new big blinds being adjusted. Once again, the parity is starting to level out these stack sizes. Never a dull moment with live poker. Our 2 highest VPIPs at the moment, I don't think are a surprise, are going to be Glenn and James. So trying to make moves with the position and their stacks. Wanting to keep pressure applied to the small stacks, which have leveled out. Paul is still sitting at 18 big blinds. He has been for the majority of this particular level. Harold in the hijack. Fresh with new chips, now has 10 jack suited. Puts in the new raise. And we have an all-in coming straight from James. Queen jack suited on the button. Wasting no time. He wants his chips back. Harold's not going to go head-to-head with that hand. The button, there's discussion now on whether the button is in the right seat or not. It does not look like it is, at least according to the graphic. It appears the button is in the wrong seat. It might be the graphic that's wrong.
I can get you one. Let me send her in, I'll bring you one.
Now we see it moved over. Everything is matching up now. Perfect.
6, 7 fold.
Move through now. Ace-6 suited. In position on the button.
He raises to 12.
Raises it up 12,000. Blinds are at the new level with level 14. It is 3,000, 6,000, 6,000. Hand number 44.
He almost heads up.
Everybody has diamonds. John doesn't know it. He does not want diamonds to hit this flop. Everybody has live cards. 1 diamond. Nobody connected with this board.
He bets 15. Call.
Robert, welcome to the chat. Says he thought the main event final was today. It is not the main event final, but it is our Power Stack final today, the 100K guarantee, which was a prize pool of just over $170,000. That is still today, as planned. We decided to sneak in this stream because the play was so fast. They got down to a final table almost 90 minutes to 2 hours quicker than expected. So when we saw that, Eric and his team and the production side put everything together very quickly. Within 20 minutes, we had a stream all set up and ready to go. And we decided just to throw in a bonus stream. So we are doing both of them today. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you here. My name is Matthew Osborne. I'm one of the managers here. I am definitely not a commentator, not traditionally. I sneak in from time to time when there's no one else that can do it, and then I have a free available schedule. Then I'll come in and just kind of play around with it. Luckily, I have Lorenzo in here now running the production side, so there's no risk of me touching a button that I'm not allowed to touch. I just have a headset on, and I get to watch along and follow with you. Yeah, absolutely. So we have LC in the box, currently dealing this. She is locked into this. I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much, LC, for joining us. What everyone probably doesn't realize, I know I mentioned it earlier, is she was already off for the day, and because we put this together, was kind enough to say yes and come back and deal this live stream. I have mentioned it before. Her professionalism is second to none. She is a class act through and through. But also personally, thank you for helping us out and being flexible, and just, it's been delightful. She is not a regular dealer here. She comes to us by way of the lodge, and we are happy to have her here in-house. Robert says in chat, stream's been excellent all week. Thank you so much for that. I can't take any personal credit for it. I do appreciate the accolades to it and make sure that team understands the kind words. We will pass that along if they're not watching already. They do a lot of behind-the-scenes preparation for each stream, and their hard work goes on for hours and hours to make this look relatively smooth and easy for us to watch. I guarantee that you saying it's been enjoyable to watch from your side is every reason why they do this. In this hand, we can see Paul. He's got a pair of kings right now. That ace is looking scary. James is feeling a little frisky. He does hit a jack. Now, the jack is not enough, but I think James, once again, is setting up to take control of this pot. He goes all in with it. James is looking for steals at this stage of the tournament. He is believing Paul to have been too scared to put his money in with his smaller stack. He wants to have Paul believe that that ace is scary. James is telling a story, trying to steal this pot. That could be my fault, haphazard. I've got the soft voice, and so every now and then the microphone travels a little bit too far away from my mouth, and it's very soft. I'm also soft speaking, and when I forget to project my voice, I think it's harder for you to hear. We'll see. Lorenzo from production will probably correct that as well. And we are going into hand 45. All right. We see pocket aces once again in the dealer. For the 4th time on this stream, pocket aces in position. Raises to 18,000. Glenn now with ace king suited out of the big blind. Oh, this is going to be a fun hand. Potentially a train wreck brewing. 2 giant hands. Glenn not afraid to get it in and mix it up. He is going to need a lot of help on this flop. You see the 3-bet to 71,000 from Glenn. So he does go all in. Pocket aces has gone all in. Glenn is now put to a decision with his ace-king suited in the big blind. He is out of position. Does not matter now facing the all-in. Glenn could make this call. It does not put him at risk for his tournament life, but it would severely hemorrhage his stack if he was to lose this pot. Glenn is salivating with the call, dreaming of being chip leader at the end of this hand. He is going to need help. Ace-king suited from Glenn, pocket aces from John. John is ahead but at risk. And here we go. We have no clubs on this board. The best right now that they can hope for is maybe a clean straight run out, which now we have that option. Any 4 or 9 is going to make this a chop. But what's the fun in that? Glenn takes a severe hit to his stack. John is now going to double up with 68 big blinds. That's going to make him our new chip leader. And just like that, everything changes. They're going to swap positions. Hand 46, level 14 blinds are 3,000, 6,000, 6,000.
We all thought it was coming after the turn, too. Yeah.
You can see this player, final table, starting to come alive a little bit with the chatter. They're getting antsy. You can see players kind of moving around, dancing in their seat a little bit, standing in between hands. Pocket sixes for Glenn. After the hit he just took, I do think he's going to raise out of the small blind. Makes it 20,000. James, ace 10 goes all in immediately with a call. This is a classic race. Now James is ahead in chips, behind in the hand. James can lose this pot and still be okay and still in the tournament. Glenn looking to double up. Nothing changes. Sixes are still ahead in this hand. And now it's Going to take an ace or a 10 on the river. 6 outs remaining for James. Ace, the lucky ace, and that's going to eliminate Glenn. And with that, we're down to the final 5 players. Glenn, thank you for playing. It was a joy, and my heads-up prediction has now been busted. It did not go the way I predicted. You can see Glenn's payout. This is something that Lorenzo just put together right here. I do like that graphic. We can see Eric in the chat saying that 70 big blinds on the final table is huge. Oh my goodness, you are not kidding. And we have, so John has 68 big blinds. James with 63 big blinds at that double up result. So we have 2 giant stacks, 2 medium stacks, and Paul sitting with almost 8 big blinds at the small stack, currently in the hijack. Eric in the chat says Lorenzo is the best. Fully agree. Again, biased, but fully agree. James G, 7-8 suited. Out of the small blind, he's going to come along with a raise if I was to predict it. I would certainly raise with that hand in that position, and he does. 18,000, does a 3x raise. Blinds are 366. And the big blind does not defend. James continue to climbs up. He's looking for a run good ring. He is no stranger to final table play. The byproduct of being the chip leader is you're also the bank for the table, and when change is needed, you're probably the one they come to. It's a tough problem to have. We know the players are being very, very chatty. We'll ask them to keep it down so that you guys can follow along through the stream and hear my voice clear. James now in position with pocket 3s, going against Muthu with pocket 6s in the small blind. James does raise, takes his pocket 3s to 15,000. I would love to see a re-raise from Muthu in this position to 65 or 75,000. And he picked the middle number between my 2 suggestions, right in line with what I was thinking. I like this play quite a bit. In this spot, I do think that James thinks he could be ahead right now facing overcards. This would be an opportunity where he might flat to see a flop and just see if it's favorable. I don't think he's going to raise here. We've seen James go all in positions like this trying to pick it up, but I don't see that happening here. And he elects to let it go entirely. Not worth it to push. Paul just under 6 big blinds. He is currently the big blind now. Look for Paul to try and defend the equity that he has in that pot. He's trying to keep in this game. He needs a double or triple up immediately to stay alive. You can hear the dealer talking to the player, making sure that their cards are completely picked up on the sensor so that we can follow along here. Someone on the other side of her production headset is telling her that that player's cards did not get picked up, which means they need to put them over that little box that you see right in front of them. Paul out of the small blind, queen 9 offsuit, does not want to call the raise. John is going to defend though, and we're going to go heads up to this flop. It is ace 3 offsuit versus 6-7 offsuit. Everybody has live cards. 6-7 now has a straight draw. Ace is still technically ahead. And now up and down straight, but not the way you want it. He does indeed have a baby straight. He's not proud of it, but it's going to be enough to take it down at showdown. Easy game. Just like that. And right now, John and James are jockeying back and forth, trading chip leader position. Once again, thank you all for following along. We know this was an unplanned stream, and we're glad to have you for the ride. Lorenzo is running production behind the scenes. Eric is following along, making sure everything is running smoothly in the game itself. And my name is Matthew Osborne. I'm the amateur commentator that is joining us for the moment. James now, King 10 offsuit under the gun. He is going to fold. Muthu has been playing hands like 4 or 5 suited. He's in the cutoff right now. Let's see what he does. Does not come along for this one. Things didn't quite feel right, I guess. John now with 6-3 suited. He is going to go ahead and put his in. Harold with King 7 suited, also in the same suit. Both hands have clubs. So we do have an all-in with a call. Harold has King 7 of clubs. Paul is the one who went all in. He has Queen 8 offsuit. The king does connect in the middle with mid pair. Oh, and now Paul hits the turn. He is looking for either a queen or an 8 on this river. Does not get it, and Paul is eliminated now. And just like that, we're down to the final 4 players in this game. Paul's going to collect just shy of $1,500. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is a single day tournament, $400 buy-in event. Well done. Paul was waiting so patiently, trying to get any hand he could. Card dead, I don't think, is enough to really illustrate what he was experiencing, but he was waiting and trying.
No, you're not. For sure, absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm not saying anything about that. I can't open with
this way.
kings
Before I
and
even looked at him, I was like, he's going to be shoving really wide.
yeah.
And now we're down to the final 4 players. Level 14, blinds 3,000, 6,000, 6,000. Hand number 51.
The hand before that where he got the baby straight,
Yeah.
I had Queen Jack and I folded it pre-flop.
Yeah.
Because I was like, he's so short. Am I going to call his shove with Queen Jack?
Yeah.
Johnny and Chet, once again, thank you for the kind words. I am fortunate to be surrounded by the absolute best management team in poker. So second to none, hands down. It makes it a joy for me to be here right alongside them. You can see our TD in the background. He is moving the empty chair out of the way to make the production here look a little bit cleaner on camera.
Stuck back down on the floor or something.
Real Indian style there.
Ooh, Johnny makes a prediction. 3 more hours until ring ceremony. I don't know that I think it's going to be done in 3 hours. I think that might be a generous estimate. So they are down to 13 in the Power Stack Day 2 restart, which is the $170,000 prize pool event. Once they get down to 9, we are hoping this table has completed their stream and we can set up for that one. It is a race that we are looking at behind the scenes here, watching closely. We took a gamble by adding in the bonus stream. We're going to see if we predicted correctly that this stream will be done in time. It's going to be close. Both players connecting with the ace. Right now, the 8 kicker does play. Now, we do know that when Muthu connects, he is sticky. Right now, we haven't seen anybody bet enough to make him not call once he is connected with a top pair or mid pair. Harold's going to have to make a sizable bet, I think, to put Muthu to a decision. I don't think that this is going to be enough to do it. In fact, I can tell you it's not. He's going to come along for 12,000. And that 9 changes nothing. I still think Muthu is going to check. Harold now is probably not going to fire again, and it's just going to be a check mark for Muthu. And like I said, he is showing that he is a sticky player once he connects. And he is now adding to his stack. Now we can see the parity of the stacks are starting to level out once again. James and John both sitting in that top spot. Muthu and Harold, plenty of chips in play. Because they have absorbed the smaller stacks so quickly, everybody has quite a few chips in play right now. So being four-handed at a final table ring event with 35 bigs as the small stack gives you a lot of play left.
That's the real truth, right?
Johnny says he's going to go and make himself some dinner. Thank you for joining us up to this point. We appreciate it. Enjoy your food. I am with you. Dinner sounds fantastic right now. That is one thing about being in this industry is many days go by and you realize late in the day that you forgot to eat. So we can see the next person to bust out is going to collect just over $2,000 in this event. James is currently the dealer position, is what it says on our graphic. This is the second time where it looks like it hasn't fully adjusted yet. There it is. James now under the gun with ace-10 offsuit. He's going to put in a 1-unit raise. For those of you in chat, I asked this at the start of the final table. If you are following along and watching, are you watching and cheering on and rooting for a particular player or just wanting to see the result of the stream? If you are cheering on one particular player, tell us who it is and what is your connection to them. James hits top pair, top kicker. Harold doesn't have anything to come along with. I think he's just going to jettison his hand, move on to the next. Easy decision. You can hear the silence in this table again. They had opened up their chatter for a little bit when they were at six-handed, and losing 2 players in the same orbit, I think has quieted them back up. Everybody realizes there's a lot of chips in play now, and nobody is feeling desperate. We can see under the gun, Muthu has ace-jack. I don't think he raises here. I do think he's going to flat based on his history. I'd be surprised to see a raise. Let me say it that way. It is 6,000 to call. Shows the amateur that I am as a commentator. I would not gamble on my predictions. John being the dealer position, 3 bets to 30,000. You can see those chips. The purple chips are 25Ks. The yellowish chip is 1,000. The teal chip is 5,000. chip count now on the board for everyone to see, all in one place. Blinds are now up 4,000, 8,000, 8,000, level 15, hand 57.
2 or 3 full, 7 blinds option. Heads up. Check. Bet 10,000.
So queen 9 versus queen deuce. All the queens are out. Both of them think they're trapping the other player, James, with the better of it right now. His 9 kicker is in play at the moment.
Bet 25,000. Raise all in.
So we see James. Going to be an all-in on a call. Muthu is not going to like what he sees. He is drawing right now to a 7, 8, or 2. He has 9 outs. A 7 or an 8 is going to make this a chop. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness, that is a cooler.
Alright, let me see here.
James taking another hit to his stack. And you can hear him in the background saying, "I can't believe it." Of course, I'm paraphrasing here. Scotty and Chad, thank you for joining along with us today. Feels like you're supposed to be here in the room with us. There were 62 entries into this event. It's a single day tournament, $400 buy-in. It was a re-entry. Yeah. Chad is coming alive now with the result of that hand. If you have played this game even a little bit, you will have been on both sides of that. To be on the losing side does make you want to puke, never feels good. To be on the winning side, you feel like you just won the lottery. Hitting those 2 outers are always exciting. James now in position with king, queen suited. I would look for him to probably just ship his stack.
He's all in.
That's exactly what he does.
Just a small blind. 8 folds. 2
Yep, and he's going to pick up a few more chips. James is now the small stack on the table. He is an incredibly accomplished player. He is no stranger to final tables.
Yeah, you're like 8-6, yep.
This is something that he will recover from quite quickly. I would not count James out of this table yet by any means. Scotty in chat says maybe he'll join next year. Had some things come up this weekend. I hope you don't mean next year and you mean next week. I feel like a year is a long time to make us wait to see you again. James is all in again with king, queen. He is now under the gun. He is in a binary mode. He is looking to go all in or fold. He is quickly trying to use the equity of his stack to his advantage. He wants to double up, put himself back in a comfortable position once again. He does not want to blind his stack down or run himself short by just calling hands. Now we see John in position on the button with pocket sixes. Harold, 8-9 on the small blind. The pocket sixes are going to raise. And James, from king, queen to pocket kings, all in with a call. Now James is at risk, but ahead in this hand, pocket kings versus pocket sixes. This is exactly what James was wanting. Now he needs the rest of the poker run out to support his aim. All around that six, but it comes up clean. Kings are still ahead. Oh my goodness. Now he has to fade a 4, 6, or 9. It is never easy. It is always a sweat. And he survives. His heart is racing, I promise you. It has been a roller coaster 4 straight hands for James. He is riding the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs.
Yeah, I have to think you're right there after you've been all in 3 runs in a row. I'm not expecting.
No. I don't know too many people who'd be thinking that in that moment, as the 3rd straight all in, that James had pocket kings. James brought his stack right back up. It took him 3 hands to get pretty much where he was and wasted no time. Chip leaders right now, Muthu under the gun with 60 big blinds. We see Harold is now the small stack, but only just barely at 21 big blinds. In the moment where you see the dealer pause, she is listening to someone on the other end of the production in the headset telling her to please hold the action. They are adjusting something within the production booth, and they want to make sure they have everything correct before she proceeds. So then she'll hold the deck until they say go. Harold on the button with Jack-8 suited in spades. Puts a raise in to 16,000, which is 1 unit. Big blind is 8,000. Muthu with King-10. We have seen him call this range pretty much from the very beginning. We are heads up to a flop. King-10 versus Jack-8 suited. Nobody connecting. Muthu is going to check. Harold now in this position has been leading out bets. He chooses to check right here. Of course, this connects with Harold's 8. He does have top pair on this board. Muthu picked an unfortunate spot to lead out a bet. Harold's going to be all too happy to just call, I think. I don't look for him to raise. He does flat. Muthu needs a King-10 or 7 to retake control of this and does hit a king on the river. Oh my goodness, this river is just destroying people. Harold only had position with this hand for 1 card, 1 street on the turn. Muthu's going to lead out a bet. Harold now has to decide if he believes that king helped his hand. I don't think he's going to believe him. I do think he calls the 30,000. Having second pair. Now the 7 is a little bit scary. He's going to have to decide if that 7 is what the opponent has. He does put in the call. He's going to see the king in disbelief. How did we get to this point? He shows his hand.
Oh, that was a hit all the time. Oh, that was a hit all the time.
Muthu adds to his giant stack with almost 70 big blinds, 4-handed. That is an insane amount of bigs. You can see it here. Harold is down to 14 big blinds. He's going to be in that same spot that James was in just 4 hands ago with the push-shove binary decision making.
Charlie's now still here.
Yeah, right? King 10, King 7, 7. I can't believe it. 7, yeah.
Hand number 62. Harold under the gun. 8-9 suited. I think he is just going to probably flat this and go to a flop.
He raises to 16.
Once again, I'm wrong. He chooses to raise in this position with his smaller stack.
7 call.
Mutu now in the small blind with pocket jacks. He is absolutely going to raise. What is he going to raise to? 100,000.
100,000.
That's a very healthy raise. Putting his chip stack to good use. Putting pressure on everyone. Now what does Harold do? He sees a lot of equity now. Folds his hand. Mutu adds to the stack. And a 63. Still sitting here with the final 4 players. Now we do need these 4 players to cooperate with our rebellious gamble and make sure that this stream ends on time. Now for those following along, the restart for the day 2 of the power stack, 100K guarantee, they're down to 12 players. So once they get down to 9 players, we'll put them on a dinner break and assess where we are with this table. We knew it was a gamble going into it. This is a fun race behind the scenes. You guys can follow along and see if we pull this off with the double stream and no delay. I think Eric has already said it once. Our worst case scenario is we put them on an extended dinner break and they get to ease their way into this final table and we just stay up later. Harold is all in with Queen Jack in the big blind. Muthu is in position. Now Harold doesn't have but 12 big blinds, so Muthu is going to come along with the opportunity to take out another player and ladder up and pay position. It is going to be Queen Jack offsuit versus Queen 5 suited spades. Harold is ahead, but at risk. And here we go. No help to either player. Only a 5 is going to help Mutu. Still just 3 outs. 5 and only a 5. Does not get there. The Jack does not help. And Harold doubles up. He is right back in this game. So now our 2 bottom stacks are just about the same with 23 and 24 big blinds. And as I've said, plenty of play now. Once you get to that 20 plus big blind range, you have plenty of options. You have the ability to pull a lot of tricks out of your bag. That's a good place to be when you're final 4 on a ring event during the Run Good Passport Series. John B is the dealer button, Queen 7 suited. And we see Muthu folding out the 9-3. John B raises it up with the Queen 7. Raises 20,000. I don't know that anybody is going to call him in this hand. I don't look for James to defend, but let's see what he does. He's pulling out chips to actually defend it. So 9-7 versus Queen 7 suited. Neither one of them connecting. John B does have a backdoor flush draw with that ace of clubs on the flop. And with that pot pickup, Harold is now in the bottom end of our chip stacks with 23 big blinds. Muthu is choosing not to relinquish his 64 big blind chip lead advantage, holding on to it tightly. We are on hand 64. Almost 2.5 hours in on this stream. James in the small blind. Only 4,000 to call, 9-3 suited. He is going to defend. It's going to be the 2 blinds going into this flop. You can see Muthu looking at his hand and laughing. These two have been battling in pots. Muthu is changing his strategy as we get into this final 4 phase. He was very passive for the first half of this final table. He is now ramping up and trying to take control of pots. We've seen this multiple times now. Neither player connecting with this flop. Ace, queen, jack flop. James has 9-3 suited. Muthu has 9-5 offsuit. This flop very much fits into the story that Muthu is telling James. Brock in chat, yes, we were talking about this earlier today. So LC is the stream dealer from the lodge. You have absolutely seen her deal lodge live streams many a time. So she has come down to us here at Palace Poker in Grand Prairie, Texas. We are glad to have her. She is the consummate professional. Just to sing her praises one more time, I'll also tell you, she was off work for the day and wrapping up and gathering her things when she was asked to come back in and join us for this little rebellious stream that we threw on unannounced because we wanted to. And she agreed to join us for the ride. And that Elsie is great. You see John. He's got king, queen offsuit out of the big blind. We see Muthu completing the blind with 6-3 suited. We have a raise to 35,000 from John B and a quick call from Muthu. Muthu is out of position with his 6-3 of clubs. So the 6-3 connects and hits the straight. My goodness. Muthu got a dream flop. He now needs some kind of face card on the river. I would like for him to check again. Don't get too antsy. Brock in chat says he wishes we had more streams. I do, so we do stream 5 days a week. And through this RunGood series, we are streaming just about every single day and sometimes twice in a day. So you're going to get your wish with more streams coming. Muthu is just adding to his massive stack. Now at 72 big blinds. 4,000, 8,000, 8,000 on the blinds, and 67. So just to give a shout out to the production team behind the scenes, we have Lorenzo on the board, Dan running action tracker and cameras, and Eric masterminding the whole thing. Muthu with ace queen suited in position on the button. Also chip leader.
Raises to 16.
Comes in for 16,000 on the raise. Harold with 6-7 suited. He has folded his hand twice now in similar positions. I think that at this point he comes along.
Free calls, heads up.
He does indeed. Heads up to a flop. Very classic race. Everybody has live cards. Does hit a 6 in the middle for Harold. Now 2 diamonds. This is going to put Muthu 4 diamonds. Now there's 2 pair out there. Harold definitely does not want to check. I don't know that 10,000 is going to do anything. Just trying to build a pot at the moment, not realizing Muthu is looking for a diamond or any overcard with his ace-queen. Just about every card is going to help Muthu at this point. Does get the ace that he was looking for. Bad news for Harold. Harold knows to be concerned. I don't know that he'll come along for any bet here. I'm sure he put Muthu on an ace.
Bet 45.
45,000 bet on the river. I just don't see any way that Harold calls this. I don't know how he can. Now granted, it does look like a missed flush draw. However, that missed flush draw that comes along for each of these streets is going to be an ace something suited. Yeah, and he came to the same conclusion. Folds it out and the button's going to move. While we're in between hands, let's go take a peek and see how our Big O tournament is doing. There's just over 90 minutes left in registration for that event. That is also a $400 buy-in, single day ring event tournament. It is a 15K guarantee event that has already surpassed 24,000 and still going. We are crushing that one. Robert in chat says, yeah, just realized that we're like a 4-hour drive from Tulsa. Robert, we invite you. Come on down and join us. Tulsa's a great city, but Palace is something that you want to see in person. And with plenty of Run Good left to play, I know that you get Run Good stops in your area, so it's not necessarily new for you. But you know how much fun this crowd can be. There is nothing like the Run Good team, and when they are here, they make sure everybody has a blast. These events are unlike anything else I've seen. Come join us. Be a part of the party. We see John now under the gun with ace-jack offsuit.
She raises to 20.
Harold now raising. Oh no, John raising it up with the ace-jack. James, 9-10 in the small blind.
7 fold.
Choosing to protect the stack that he has. Muthu is probably going to be sticky and defend with the big blind. And ace-3. Why not? Nobody connects. Muthu has a sneaky backdoor flush draw that he's not going to be excited about.
Bet 25.
John leads out once again with ace-jack offsuit on a king-deuce-8 board. Bets 25,000. Now, Muthu is feeling sticky. We have seen this from him quite a few times. Normally, he has already connected a pair before he gets to this point. But we have noted that he has switched gears and gone into a new strategy that Jack is not going to help Muthu at all. Now, in these moments, yep, he'll check and then he'll typically lead out a bet on the river. But that club is probably not what he wanted to see. Robert in chat. Not only is the 500K worth the drive, we have stakes here. If you are a meat eater, that you're going to want to come try. I promise you. The tenderloin is my favorite. The picanha is a house favorite for most players. Right now, we're just trading stacks. We're looking for that train wreck that's going to get us down to 3 players. This Final Four has been moving chips around the table. Nobody wanting to leave easily. Small stack has managed to hold and double up each time we've come into that position. Currently, the small stack is Harold on the button with 18 big blinds. Mutu, 7-8 suited and small blind. Now, about half an hour ago, out of the small blind, he raised. This time he just chooses to flat with a call. We're going to have small blind versus big blind, diamonds versus hearts. Both hands are suited. Neither suit coming up on the flop. Mutu does flop open-ended for a straight draw with 7, 8, 9, 10. Carefully considering his hand, probably putting in to build up a pot in case it hits. Those spades that came out, there's 9, 10 of spades on the flop. Probably wants to charge that draw just a tiny bit. On to the next hand, hand number 71. Players looking very settled in at this table now. A far cry from the jitters of the first hour when we had started this stream. James G under the gun with pocket 9s, and right behind him, Muthu with pocket 8s in position as the dealer button. James is going to come along pretty hard with this, I think. Raises 1 unit to 16,000. Now what does Muthu do? This might be the train wreck hand we've been calling for. I see raising chips coming. James G also sees raising chips. 48,000 on the raise. I wouldn't be surprised to see James just go all in right here. We've seen this move a couple of times. These two players have been battling back and forth for the entire table. This is not new for them. He does call. We are heads up to a flop. This is a massive pot. Oh, all around it. Now there are 2 overcards on this flop to both players' hands. You see the all-in coming from James. Not believing. Doesn't want this club to be a cheap draw. And Mutu now sweating this hand. This is a significant pot. You can see Mutu looking over, seeing the stack size he's going against. That's going to put James at just under 50 bigs. James and Mutu have been just battling back and forth, trading chips. Blinds are now up. 5,000, 10,000, 10,000, level 16. Hand number 72, Muthu with Queen 8 suited under the gun.
Will you scan your cards again?
I wouldn't be surprised now to see him just flat.
Big brother is watching.
Nope. 1 unit raised to 20,000.
2 folds.
Harold has pocket 8. Harold has to go all in here. He has been patiently waiting with his smaller stack. The blinds just went up. He does go all in. 13 big blinds into the middle. Muthu is going to call him, I think, to defend with the opportunity to try and take out a player. We can see that his 8 is dominated. He is drawing to just a queen with 1 overcard. Muthu's hand is Queen 8 suited, though, in spades. Gives him an additional 2.5% equity. And folds it out. Does not want to take a race at this time. Harold sneaks it through, gains a few blinds, and now he's at 17 bigs. Once again, the yellow-orange chip is 1,000. The teal chips are 5,000. The purple chips that you see out front and on top are 25,000.
Yeah.
If not, let them know on the speaker. They'll call one of us. We'll just take care of it.
Two raises to 20.
For those that are following along the gamble, our marquee event today for this stream that was scheduled, the Power Stack, they are down to their final table, so they are on dinner break at the moment, which means the clock is ticking for us here now. We want to see this table play through very, very fast. Let's see if it works out for us. We saw James sneak through with pocket queens, adding to his chip stack, putting him and Muthu now pretty similar stacks. Paul Phillips in chat is asking, are we going to switch over to the 100K? We're going to see how long this plays out. So right now, the 100K is on dinner break, so they're on an extended dinner break, and that buys us a little bit of time to see what happens with this table. Hopefully we don't have to make that decision. Harold, ace queen, under the gun. He's going to raise to 25, looking for a reason to get his stack all in. Muthu, 6-7 suited. He's looking at Harold's stack as well, knowing that he's going to call if he goes all in, so he just flats the 25,000. We're going to go 3-way to the flop. Suited diamonds with 6-7 for Muthu. John has 9-6 suited in clubs, and Harold has ace-queen offsuit. We do have the 9 connecting for John, top pair, with 19 big blinds in his stack. He could not ask for better. He's going to check it, see if anybody bets out. It checks around. Free card. We now see 3 hearts out there. Also the development of the straight that did connect. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Muthu. He is leading this hand at the moment. So Muthu wisely checked. We see John leading out with his top pair, perceiving himself to have the best hand at the moment, I think. Harold, though, has the ace of hearts. This is a train wreck developing. He has a heart draw. Doesn't want to let that go. Now Harold does make the call. Muthu now, this is the perfect spot. Look for Muthu, put in a raise, possibly an all-in, seeing the stack sizes of both players. Robert in chat says he's talked himself into it and he's going to come for our main event. Glad to hear that. When you come in, look for Matt and say hi. I'd love to shake your hand and thank you for coming to join us. Now, this is exactly what we were hoping for. So we do have an all-in. John is all in with top pair. He also has a straight draw. Now Muthu has already hit the straight to the upper side with the 6-7. Meaning for John to even chop this pot, it's going to have to be a 7. And now they're going to see the results. John is not going to like what he's seeing. He is drawing to a 7 and only a 7 to save his tournament life. And the jack did not help. And we lose John in 4th place. John, well battled, and thank you for playing. You can see his payout right there on the screen now. These graphics, once again, are brought to you by Lorenzo and our production team. And with that, we are at the final 3.
He's safe.
You did?
I had enough flush draw.
Oh, yeah. I figured you had the ace.
Yeah, I
Gave
had
a hot.
I had the ace of hearts.
Gave a hot.
I had ace queen. Ace queen with the ace of hearts.
I was waiting on that.
Let's put it this way. I almost shoved when he bet 30. Almost, because I was like, you know, I got a gut shot for the wheel, had enough flush draw.
Michael in chat is talking about how he's played the RunGood series in the past at other stops. So we don't know what the fall schedule for RunGood is going to be, or even what Palace is going to be. But this has been a wonderful experience working with the RunGood team behind the scenes. We would always invite them back anytime that there is room on their schedule. We'd be happy to have them back.
Why couldn't I have 2 hearts here? Right. I was about to say, there ain't nothing in there.
So now Harold is in the small stack position with 11 big blinds. Muthu, after knocking out our 4th place finisher, is dominating once again with 72 big blinds in that stack. It's just a massive chip leader. They are playing for a ring. This is a ring event for the RunGood Passport Season Series.
That was a good ladder. $909, yeah.
And on to the next. Level 16. Blinds are 5,000, 10,000, 10,000. James with ace deuce suited in the big blind.
I'm gonna let you make it, man.
And he is just trying to hang on
I don't want to beat you up with the ace 4. I appreciate that. I already got
to his stack as much as possible so that he can prepare for a heads-up match. That's the story that he has already wrote in his head, I assure you. Harold now at these blinds. He is getting to his binary position. It's either all in or fold. Robert says, are all the tables like this feature table? No, actually the feature table looks dramatically different than the tables out on the floor. The tables on the floor have a kind of a Art Deco 1950s feel with a red color scheme and gold accent colors around it. We have just unveiled a brand new felt for this RunGood series that I'm very, very proud of. I like the look of it quite a bit. You can find it on our social media.
I kind of want to call on that one. I mean, you know, it's just an idea shooter, but, you know, it flops well. I'll be happy with the free blind money.
Harold will absolutely be happy with the free blinds. Anything he can do to add equity to his stack, he will take. All gifts are welcome for Harold. Muthu now. Ace-10 offsuit in the small blind. James doesn't have anything to play with, but Harold with that king-9 in the big blind. There's so much equity. King-9 is a great heads-up hand. I would not be surprised if Harold goes all in with that king 9. He knows that he's going to have to add chips to his stack, and these blinds are just going to dilute him. He does indeed go all in with a quick call. This is a classic race. Everybody has live cards. Muthu with ace-10 offsuit. Harold with king-9 offsuit. Harold is both behind and at risk for his tournament life in this hand. Harold's looking for a double up. Oh, my goodness. Trip kings. Wow. Oh, it just gets better and better. Harold got all the cards. Wow, no sweat at all. And just like that, he doubles up 25 bigs and gives himself a little bit of breathing room.
I don't have enough of it. Like I said, I got it.
I don't know that Harold could have scripted that any better.
Chips now.
You can hear his sigh of relief. He knows he has a little bit of breathing room. He doesn't have to just shove. Although we saw James expertly get to this position and decide to just start playing very aggressively, making people decide if they want to call his 25 bigs when he was down to that point.
This guy went down. Everybody started wanting them purple chips or something for me.
Harold keeping the entertainment alive at this final table. Down to the final 3 players. You can see the payouts down below. They're playing for just under $6,700 for first place. And the next position that goes out is making almost $3,000. Today was a $400 buy-in, single-day event. It is a ring event. We have new people that are now joining us on the stream. Thank you for watching along with us. Once again, my name is Matthew. I'm one of the managers here. We've got Lorenzo running production here with the board. Eric orchestrating everything behind the scenes, and Dan running action tracker and cameras. We are your production team for this stream. Muthu, Jack 5 suited on the button. He raises 1 unit to 20,000. Neither player has much to come along with. Now in this case, James and Muthu have been battling, we know, all final table. Neither one wanting to give any equity or credence to the other player. Now, James does hit top pair with the king. Checks it, trying to be sneaky, and that jack might do it. So now that Muthu hit the jack on the turn, he may feel pretty decent about his stack. You can see the bet of 20,000 with a call. The 7 doesn't help anybody. James is going to bet out again. I would look for something around 40,000. No, a little bit less. Looks like 30 from here, 35. Now we do know that Muthu gets sticky when he hits a pair. He doesn't generally re-raise for information, but he does end up calling. I would look for that to still be true here. He just does not believe when he has a pair. And that's exactly what happened. And with that, James is finally where he's been trying to get to. Him and Muthu are essentially the same stack. Two giant stacks looking to eat Harold here. Harold not wanting to make it easy. He is happy to trade positions with either one of them. He can double up through either one and swap spots. That makes this wide open on the final 3 players. James now, ace-6 offsuit in the small blind, and Harold 7-8 suited in position. I absolutely love this hand. He's going to come along. 1 unit raise in 20,000. I like this play. James now looking to fly. No, he raises 70,000. What does Harold do? Does Harold want to go for his entire stack? Now, he does have an opportunity to double up. If he can win this pot, that would be a significant position change for him. I think he might get frisky and decide to let it go and move on to the next. not quite ready to battle.
Just asking, don't have to, but you guys want to do ICM or?
Huh?
You guys want to do ICM?
You can hear chatter of a chop. Now, we have learned in this series that Run Good has a policy that you cannot do a full cash chop and play for the ring. They do not allow it. There has to be significant money left to play for along with the ring, but you can do a partial chop.
I know it is like 6,600, so yeah.
And then we'd still have to play for the ring.
Yeah.
Now, these players may not realize that rule yet for Run Good. I promise you, though, Murph and his team will come in and explain it. If there's legitimate chat of a chop taking place, they will inform them. They can do partial, but that is it. We have Elsie in the box. She's locked into this final table. Neither player connecting with this flop. Muthu with King 8 offsuit. Harold with Jack 8 offsuit. I think this is going to be a simple bet and fold. Chat has jokes. I see it, though. I absolutely see it. Welcome to the stream to the new viewers who are just now joining us. We're on the final 3 players of our $400 entry single day ring event, no limit hold'em. Our main event stream, not main event, our marquee event stream will take place directly after this one.
I think they don't want to because they want to hear us talking.
Yeah, because this seat is in the open, the table.
Mutu on the button with pocket queens. Harold with 10-8 suited in the small blind. You can see James. We're going to go 3-way to this flop. Mutu's trying to disguise his hand and be very sneaky, setting the trap. Everybody hit a piece of this. Mutu didn't need to. He already had pocket queens. I don't look for him to let this go now. Yeah, bets out 25,000. And with, yeah, Harold's going to come along. James can let it go. It does look suspicious that Mutu is just probably trying to take control and buy the pot. The board does not help anybody. Does put 2 diamonds out there on the board. Harold has top pair with the pair of 8s. Thinks he's going to be good here with the $40,000 bet. Mutu with pocket queens is still leading this pot. James gets out of the way. Mutu just flats the 40, keeping his hand very well disguised. King on the river. Harold goes all in. Now the king is a little bit scary for Mutu. He's not excited about it. I don't see a scenario here where he does not call. I don't know. He gets so sticky when he hits a pair, and in this case he already had a pair. I don't know that he's going to trust the king. He just does not trust all ins when he has a pair. You can see the anguish on his face. He's trying to reason through. Now Harold is all in for 21 big blinds, and Mutu has 50 big blinds.
Oh, you're not heads up? Oh, now I got him a bit.
All the stress.
Is it 122 exactly?
I think so.
Mutu is wanting to get confirmation of exactly how much the all-in is. are 3 hours into this stream. It has gone much longer than we predicted when we started it. And there's the call that we knew was coming. Harold, with that call, is going to be eliminated. And Muthu takes the check mark, and we now have our heads up final two. Harold, congratulations for hanging on and joining us today. You can see his payout right there. Well done.
If I called your turn bet, I would have river two pair. I can't do. Oh yeah, can do like that.
Yeah, but if you're still in there, I don't do that.
Your heads up.
You can see Eric in the background removing the chair. They're going to reposition and put one player on either side. This makes it easier for us to follow along on the production side with the camera angles. Also makes it a little bit easier on the dealer, who is LC in the box right now. And we are going to reposition, get into heads up mode, and find out who's going to take the Grand Champ ring out of this event. And with luck, we'll find out within 15 or 20 minutes.
You need this? No.
While we see them repositioning, let's go ahead and take a peek and see how our Big O tournament is doing. There's just about an hour left in registration, maybe a little bit over. It is a $15,000 guarantee event, $400 buy-in for Big O. Big O is 5-card high-low. And they are sitting with 75 entries, so just over 24,000 in that prize pool on a 15K guarantee. And here we go. This is our first hand at heads up. James starting right off in position on the button with pocket jacks. We can see that Muthu has a commanding chip lead. He has 74 big blinds going into this heads up match. James has 47 big blinds.
Do you want that one?
Doesn't matter. That's okay. Good.
Okay. See, 3 raises to 30.
Flop comes out. King, Queen, Jack. Hitting bottom set for James. He is affectionately known as Quad J. This fits right into his wheelhouse. This is also the second time he's hit a set of jacks, I believe, or at least the second time he's had pocket jacks at least at this table. Leads out a bet of 30,000.
If you want to move your scanner to 7, they can move it.
No, no, I'm good. Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Okay, we're gonna do 7.
I can still sit here, right?
Yeah. I think that works out better.
Maybe better.
Just under 4 minutes left in this round. The blinds are currently 5,000, 10,000, 10,000. Hand number 83, level 16. You can hear discussion between the dealer and Muthu on where his scanner is going to be. You can see where her card landed is his scanner now. He wanted it moved over just so it was a little bit more comfortable for how he sits. Muthu is in position on the button, has 8-2 of spades. There are many dynamics to live poker and poker in general, and especially final table poker. And heads up is a whole thing all on its own. You can see that Muthu connects with the pocket, or not pocket, but a bottom pair of twos. Has two pair with 3s and 2s.
Bet three.
If you are following along and you are not here at Palace, you still have a whole nother week of events coming. Plenty of rings in the future to come join us. Mutu now has 8s and 3s. And his hand is just getting better and better. Tomorrow morning we have our seniors event. This will be our first one. Later in the week we do have a women's event. Tuesday night we have a tag team event. And Wednesday night we have a Taurus event, which I'm incredibly excited about. And as we can see, full house, 2s full of 8s for Mutu. James is going to try and lead out a little bit of aggression, seeing if he can steal this pot. We know it's not going to work.
50.
He just calls. Does not elect to re-raise. You can see Mike Murphy now, the tournament manager for RunGood, showing them the jewelry, sitting right front and center in front of the dealer. That is the ring that they're playing for in addition to their cash prize. Lego in chat says tag team. Absolutely. I'm excited for it. I am trying to talk myself into it. I don't play enough, though. Everybody knows I'm not good. I'd rather be on a spades table than a poker table because at least spades I have a decent chance of winning.
Oh, sorry.
At poker, everybody is better than me. James now with pocket 2s in position on the button. He has 39 big blinds. Mutu has 82 big blinds. James is looking for any opportunity now to double his stack and trade positions with Mutu, and Mutu is hoping to take down a quick heads-up match.
Check. Bet 20. You said 20, right?
We do see that James hit bottom set. Does have a set of ducks. And right now they're just filling each other out.
Come back in 5 minutes. We're going to color you up. It says 15 minutes, but these guys are on a break waiting for you guys to get done. Sure.
And with that, we have returned. We are still heads up. Blinds are still at level 16, 5,000, 10,000, 10,000, hand number 85. We are trying to find our champion for this event, $400 entry. Single day, ring event, no limit hold'em. We are down to Mutu and James.
12,000 to go. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's my bad. Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
If you recall, right before we went on break, Mutu changed his sensor to be in seat 7, but he is officially sitting in seat 8.
Yeah.
He has 8 deuce. Trying to keep control of this pot with his chip stack. James has pocket 5s, though, and 33 bigs. He's going to have to start making a splash. Mutu essentially has a 2-to-1 chip lead on him. This does not connect. I'm sure neither player likes to see any of those cards with their current hands. For those that are watching along, please stay with us. Right after this stream, we're going to go right into the final table of our 100K guarantee event. They are waiting for this table to complete so that they can come in and finish out and find their champion. You do see Mutu stealing this pot. He is in position. That is the value of position, also the value of his chip stack. That board favors his hand. at least his hand range for his position in that moment. Heads up play is an entirely different set of nuance strategies. King 10 now in the big blind for Mutu suited. James with ace 5 offsuit in position. Any ace heads up is strong. You hear him say raise. The blinds are 6,000, 12,000, 12,000. Makes it 2.5 to go. 30,000 total value. Mutu calls. We're going to a flop. King 10 of clubs versus ace 5 offsuit. Mutu hits a 10. James is going to keep pressure going. I've been saying it all stream long. Mutu, once he hits a pair, gets very sticky. If James has been watching as we have, that call would be very suspicious. We see the queen come out. That is scary for probably both players. Mutu is going to check. James now may check behind. He may not like that queen as much. A 4 on the end does not help anybody's hand at all. Mutu might check again here. Now James is wondering if his ace high is good, but he knows if he does not bet, he can't win at all. I just don't think that there's going to be a bet short of all in that is going to convince Mutu not to call. 75 is a healthy one, but he still calls. Stays with his reputation, shows the ace high, and Mutu is going to take the check mark with queens and tens. He is consistent that when he has that pair that he's hit, he is coming along. He just does not believe those bets on the river. And to his credit, that has been a very successful strategy for him. You can see him smiling. He now has a 4-1 chip lead over James.
He sent me a message. Yeah, somebody is.
James is going to be all in or fold mode with 20 big blinds now. He has 6-8. Mutu with jack deuce suited. I could see James at this point waiting for Mutu to flat the call and James go all in right behind. Nope, just flats it. So both players have now changed their strategy here at heads up. 10-5 ace does not help either player. Welcome back to everybody who's coming back and joining us. Once again, once this stream is complete, we're going to set up and get the next final table stream ready to go right behind this one. They are already waiting for this one to be determined. We can see the pair of sixes for James on the end. On to the next, hand 89. You can see the RunGood photographer in the background. James now on the button, first act with ace-9 offsuit. Would imagine he goes all in here. I keep saying it, but I think this is the moment. Nope. I am way less patient. Heads up with 20 bigs. Mutu with jack-7 offsuit. James with ace-9 offsuit. Everybody has live cards. Mutu is first to act. Neither player connecting with the flop. Ace high looking very good in this case. 8 helping nobody. Both players now have a pair of 8s on the board. Mutu is going to take a stab at it, see if he can't just take it down where it is. James still wanted to see one more just in case. River does give him the 9 for the check mark. He was ahead before, he's ahead after. That 9 is going to be enough for him to look up whatever this bet is going to be. Right now, Mutu's hand looks very much like a missed flush draw.
I say it's good. Don't need the 9.
You can hear Mutu, who has been a very happy figure in this tournament all throughout. Smiles and laughs, telling him that ace high was good, the 9 was redundantly unnecessary. Overkill. Once again, in our background, you see our photographer for RunGood, taking all the beautiful pictures that you've seen on social media. RunGood is experts with marketing and media. James G now big blind with pocket 6s and Mutu 9-4 suited. Now he likes suited hands anyway. This is the moment we've been waiting for. James does go all in with pocket 6s. Mutu lets it go. James has a long road to travel back from, but he is carving away at that stack. Not even 9 hands ago, Mutu had a 4-1 chip lead. He now has a 2.5 chip lead. Hand number 91. Pocket 9s now for James. From pocket 6s to pocket 9s. He is first to act. He is looking at the clock, seeing how much time he has. He knows he's going to raise. Mutu with 10-8 offsuit. James raised to 30,000. Blinds are 12,000 on the big. Mutu calls. Neither player connected. Pocket 9s are still good in James' hand. Checks back James now on the button. Look for James to bet out around 50, 60,000. 40,000, giving him value to call. Mutu folds. On to the next hand. And with that, James has climbed his way back to essentially a 2-1 dog. Hand number 92, blinds are 6,000, 12,000, 12,000. Ace 9 now on the button for Mutu. James, Jack 9 offsuit in the big blind. That 9 is dominated with Mutu's Ace 9. Both players looking very comfortable at this final table. James bets out 30,000. Mutu seeing 4 diamonds on this board. He does have the nut flush draw at the moment. This is looking like a very dangerous hand for James. He's going to need a very good turn card. Diamond does not come. The 10 doesn't necessarily help anybody. James might be able to tell a certain story. He elects to check. Goes over to Mutu now, still looking for that diamond. I could see him checking behind as well. We've seen him a little bit from time to time decide to build a pot, but usually check. And of course we see that he does connect with the ace high flush.
Check it.
Mutu is just deciding how much he's going to bet. He is sitting with the ace high flush. And no amount is going to convince James to come along or make a move. You can see the 135 bet.
135.
And on to the next. Thank you all for joining us today. As you've heard me say now many times throughout this stream, this is a bonus stream we put together because we too like to sometimes be rebellious and gamble, and we threw in an extra stream believing that it was going to be done in time before we got to our marquee stream that was scheduled. We were incorrect in that assessment. When we are holding true, and that table is now waiting for this one to complete. And just like a backed up runway on the tarmac, we have the next one ready to go as soon as this one is done. So stay with us. We have a long night of streams ahead. We are going to find 2 ring champions today on stream. This heads-up match is playing for a RunGood ring. You can see it sitting there firmly in seat 5 when the camera angle favors it, right over the dealer's shoulder. RunGood rings are gorgeous. I don't know what the other stops look like. I have not been able to inspect them up close, but I know the series rings that are here are insanely beautiful. Very well designed. On this board, we have bottom pair of 7s for Mutu. James did not connect to any part of this flop. It is 7-4 versus Queen 4. This changes nothing. James now has some straight draws. He is going to need to hit either a king for the straight or a 4 or a king for the straight or a queen. We have a bet and a call. And the king does come out, giving James the straight with the queen. He has Broadway. Or, as I learned this week, the other name for this is the bicycle hand. Ace, king, queen, jack, 10. I finally had to ask, why is it called the bicycle? And they said, well, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5 is called the wheel because the big straight is the bicycle. I don't know if that's true or not, but I like the story well enough to retell it today. Now, seeing as how every card out there is dominating the pair of 7s, I don't think Mutu is going to be sticky enough to call this bet. And with that, nothing has changed, and we're still sitting in the same spot. James is roughly 2-to-1 dog. Mutu is 2-to-1 ahead in chips. He has been the chip leader this entire final heads-up match. can see James G. 10 jack suited in the big blind, 10 jack offsuit in the big blind. If it's not evident to everybody listening, it is time for me to eat something. I have realized I have not had anything today as a meal.
Raised to 35.
So James leads out with a $35,000 raise. Muthu is going to flat it. We're going to go to a flop 7-5 offsuit for Muthu and James 10 jack offsuit. 10 jack did not connect, but looking for a 9 to hit the straight. 7-5 didn't connect any part of this flop. The queen 8-3.
Bet 45.
You can see Muthu rehydrating. Extremely important on these long gambling days. Tournament poker is not for the weary. It is an absolute testament of will to get through a long day of playing. There's a mental strain to play at this level. Muthu has ace-8 suited in the big blind. James raises to 30,000 with king-9 offsuit in position on the button. Muthu is going to put raising chips in. Looks like 95,000 from here. I do like this raise from Muthu. Using his stack. James is going to flat it and call to the flop. Both players have live hands. Muthu is looking for an ace or hearts. Both players, my goodness. Muthu with mid pair on the 8s, and James hits top pair with king-9. The flop came king-8-4. Now this is a spot where Muthu will get sticky, at least according to his history, but James goes all in. Now I don't think that Muthu is going to call the all in here. We have not seen him get sticky with all in calls, only with river bets. I think Muthu is going to find himself a fold here. He is asking the dealer for a count. This would essentially swap positions if he calls and loses. But if he does call and finds his way to an ace or an 8, this tournament will be over and he will be crowned champion, taking the ring with him. Mutu is in a long tank on this hand. He does not want to let this go. That mid pair of eights is just enough. It is everything in him. He is dying to find a call. He's having to fight his own instinct to let it go. And he does call. He stays with what has been true. He is now going to need an ace or an eight to end this tournament where it is right now.
You know how this goes. Yeah. We've been here before. But I did.
James is ahead. He is also at risk.
That's what I'm thinking. Let's get a,
The four does not help. Mutu needs an ace or an eight to take the champion victory. Did not get it, and they have now traded positions. James's patience has now brought him to the chip lead for the first time in this heads up. And Mutu is now in the position to have to battle his way back. And as they say, we have ourselves a ball game. This is going back and forth. These two, from the very beginning of this final table, have been battling each other. They were sitting side by side in small blind, big blind positions to each other. I think it is fitting that these two are now battling for the ring. And we are quickly coming up on the century mark for this final table stream. You can see right now, James has 74 big blinds. Mutu has 30 big blinds. Currently at level 17, the blinds are 6,000, 12,000, 12,000. We're on hand number 96. Hand number 95, my apologies. The graphic is correct. Dealer is halting the action at the moment. Now we can see the cards. Mutu has King Jack suited clubs in the big blind position. James with Jack 3 as the dealer.
So, to 30. And action's on second.
James raises 30,000 with Jack 3 offsuit. He is trying to use his stack to apply pressure to Mutu and make him decide what he's doing. Mutu goes all in. James quickly folds. Button's going to move. We go to hand 97. You can see Mutu trying to get an exact account of where he stands. Both players looking to add a RunGood ring to their trophy case. Button does act first in heads-up play. Mutu with pocket nines. And James with ace-4 offsuit. Mutu raises to 30,000.
Call.
James calls. Looking for a fortunate flop. Nines are currently ahead. This is a great board for nines. Comes up 10, 6, 8, rainbow.
Bet 40.
James is going to try and decide if he can connect an ace on the turn. It's worth a call. That 9. Scary for Mutu, but it does give him a set of 9s. It's hard to put James on a 7 in this particular spot. And the 5 changes. Nothing for anyone.
Check.
James is not going to call any bet. Mutu might want to just get out of this flop with showdown. Not try and get too tricksy. The 7 is enough to be scary.
I would like that. Yeah. Bet.
Puts in a bet of 125,000. James is not going to call anything here. Double checks to make sure. Nothing changed. Still ace-4 offsuit.
Bet blinds are up.
And you can hear the dealer. Blinds are up. All right. And with that, Elsie is out the door. Great job. Thank you for helping us out. And we now have Adrian, it looks like, coming into the box.
You just count that?
What is it?
Do you just count that?
Yeah.
How much is it?
3, 4.
You can hear Adrian wanting to verify the stacks, make sure they have everything correct before he comes in.
508.
508, he says. Is that right? Yeah, 5. What are blind? 15, 15.
So Adrian is getting himself settled into this. No one expected this heads-up match or this final table to go this long. We calculated a gamble, and we did not calculate properly. We can see Poker Eric in the chat saying Adrian's tapping in. It wasn't supposed to be a 4-hour final table. It definitely was not. We had all believed that this at best was a 2.5-hour table. We thought it was going to go very, very quickly, and it just did not. We are here for all the hand-by-hand action. It has been an exciting table here for the second half of it. So we have ace 3 on the dealer position for James, offsuit. Mutu with jack deuce, also offsuit, but he does have a jack of hearts. He has now picked up additional outs. James is currently ahead with the ace. Mutu is betting on his draws. And he's going to take it down. And with that, we are getting close to even stacks. With the increase in the blinds in the last 3 hands, Mutu is almost even. So Eric in chat is telling us that they have continued the day 2 restart on the table out there. And we are just crossing our fingers that nobody drops on that table before we can get them on stream. They elected to keep playing and not wait. They're anxious to get this resolved on that game as well. Lego makes the suggestion that we need 2 stream tables if we're going to do this. We can see this hand, queen 10 offsuit for James in the big blind, and ace 10 offsuit for Mutu as the dealer. This has all the trappings to potentially be a train wreck hand. The 10 is dominated. Into the flop we go. Jack 7 queen, rainbow, James hits top pair of queens. Now Mutu needs a king to have Broadway. Once again, an ace or a king will put Mutu ahead. Currently James is in position to take this particular pot. The bet is 50,000. Mutu does call. He is looking for an ace or a king. James is still leading this pot. Oh my goodness. Mutu does get the ace he was looking for and the check mark. James astutely checks to that ace. And with the conclusion of this pot, I think they're going to be even or very close to it. James does call. They will not be even with that call. And that is going to put Mutu back into the chip lead position as they continue on their heads-up battle. And we are still looking for who's going to be victorious on this ring. We can see it now on the graphic. Mutu has 50 big blinds. James has 32 bigs. Still at level 18. Blinds are 10,000, 15,000, 15,000. And we are playing hand 100. Lego's making his prediction in chat. He says this is going to end on hand number 42,069. He might be right. James has 8-9 offsuit on the dealer button. Mutu with ace-4 offsuit in the big blind position. To the flop we go. James does flop open-ended, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mutu is still ahead. No, he's not ahead. The ace is not enough equity. James has all sorts of options. James bets out 125,000. Mutu did hit the 4. There are 3 hearts out there. Now we know, once again, once Mutu hits a pair, he does get sticky. Usually it takes a little bit more of a pair than just the bottom half. But he does not like to lay down when he hits a pair better. He does fold it.
Alright, last piece.
In this hand, we have 6 deuce suited in the big blind and 7-4 suited on the dealer. Mutu has spades with 7-4. James has diamonds with 6 deuce. And to the flop, 6 deuce is going to flop the best of this. Easy game when you get a 6 high straight on the flop. Pair of 4s in the middle for Mutu. Both players liking this board. Mutu is going to lead it out. The king does not do anything to help anyone. James is still ahead with his straight. Now we can see Mutu leading out a bet of 56,000. James is not afraid of anything out there. He knows he has the 6 high straight. Now he's wondering if there's a club draw coming. The 9 is of no help to anyone. James is going to take the check mark on this hand unless he gets scared away from it, and I don't see a version where he's going to. James does go all in, hoping for the sneaky call, but there's just not enough. Mutu is not going to call for just a pair of 4s. We've seen him make sticky calls, but we have not seen that sticky. Lego in chat, keeping everyone entertained with jokes. Can always count on Lego. Once again, Mutu back in the tank. It is a really good structure for sure. These two players are just not making it easy.
Okay, let's wait a little bit.
He does fold. And they're just going to continually trade their chips back and forth.
Lines, please. You'll see it later, but I have to flop this straight.
We do hear James saying that he flopped straight, which he did.
Check.
All right, heads up.
Check.
Check, check.
James has mid pair with the nines. He has 9-4 offsuit. Now he has 9s and 5s. Muthu with Jack-6 has not connected. James is going to take it down here with the bet. Muthu looking to see one more, not trusting that James has connected anything. And does hit the jack. He is rewarded for his stickiness. Jacks and 5s are going to take the win. And you can hear James say, of course.
Ace nine.
What is ace nine?
Nine.
Yeah,
Nine.
looks like it.
Muthu is on the button. Ace-10 offsuit. James with 7-3 offsuit in the big blind. Checks and we go to the flop. Neither player connects. It is 5 king 6 of hearts. Both players have hearts. Muthu has the ace of hearts. The turn is of no help to anyone. I would expect James to check, Muthu to bet out and try and build a little bit of a pot just in case the heart does hit. Bets 35,000. You can hear the cheers in the background. There's lots of poker happening in the room. Either that or somebody ordered the steak and they really like what they're seeing. No heart came. The 7 is enough to give James the check mark, but will he have the constitution to call a bet here? He won't have to. He's going to get the automatic win. Just enough as showdown.
You wouldn't know.
I got her in a shitty flush draw.
I get it.
And as I said, they keep trading position back and forth. James is currently at 45 big blinds and Muthu has 39. No matter which player is victorious, this is definitely a well-fought, well-battled, hard-earned win. It was not an easy path to get first place and the ring in this event.
I don't know, there's only 25, 27 left.
On to the next. At this point, for everybody who is watching along, trying to find out who is going to be victorious, let's gamble ourselves. Lego, since you're active in chat, you and Eric, somebody tell me, what hand do you think this ends on? Now, Eric has inside knowledge, so actually, you don't get to decide. Lego, what hand do you think this ends on for a heads-up match? I'm going to say 127, knowing absolutely nothing at all. Muthu has ace-3 offsuit on the button. James with jack-7 offsuit in the big blind. We see raise announced.
40,000, check, and now it's 30,000.
So the flop comes out. King, 8, queen, 2 clubs. James has a 7 of clubs. Muthu does not have a club. Neither player connecting a pair. The 4 of clubs doesn't help anybody with a pair, but it does give James that slight backdoor flush draw. It's not easy to make a hand heads up. The club does not come. Ace of spade drops on the river, giving Muthu top pair in the check mark. Michael Miller in chat, he rolls out and says, this ends on hand 116. He thinks it's going to go faster than I do. That's a very good guess. We'll see if anyone else wants to venture a guess. Like I said, I'm calling it a 127. We are on to the next. Muthu now has the chip lead with 46 big blinds, and James has 37 big blinds. We're still at level 18. The blinds are at 10,000, 15,000, 15,000. We do big blind ante-format. We are currently at hand 106. We'll be watching that counter closely. James on the button with ace-king offsuit and Muthu with pocket tens in the big blind. This could be the train wreck hand we're looking for. Let's see how this plays out. He raises to 35,000 with ace-king. Muthu. He's getting re-raised chips out. Raises 125,000. Total bet. James goes all in. And a call. Here we go. This might be it right here. Muthu is currently ahead. James is behind and at risk. Pocket tens versus ace-king offsuit, and the flop comes up, and he hits a king. Ace-king connects, top pair, top kicker. Muthu now needs one of the 2 tens to come out. Now he's picked up additional outs with the 9. Any 8 or 10? Does not happen. James takes this hand with ace-king. They don't know where they're at in this hand.
It's close, but I think I just barely have you.
James believing that he just won the tournament. We know he hasn't. Not if the stacks are correct on screen. You can see Adrian being very thorough, counting it down to be sure.
The only way I get paid too. Isn't that just calling 5?
Oh, 555? Oh, that's less.
Mutu, he has 685,000 starting this hand, so he's going to have 115,000 remaining. James now has a commanding chip lead. The game is still continuing. James has 75 big blinds. Mutu just under 8 big blinds.
Okay.
Now that I counted it. Well, shit. Can we just concede? Blinds, please.
So we do see all in from Mutu with ace-3 offsuit. James quickly calls with king-queen offsuit. And now Mutu is ahead with the ace. He's at risk for his tournament life. James is hoping to end it right here. Mutu is hoping to double up. He picks up additional outs. Only a king or a queen can knock him out now. And does not get it. Mutu doubles up just that quick.
Big one, big one.
Hand number 108. 66 big blinds for James, 16 big blinds for Mutu. Queen 9 for the big blind for Mutu. James, 10-4 offsuit. Flats the blind at 15,000. Mutu. Queen 9 suited in diamonds. He goes all in. James quickly folds and goes on to the next. Mutu now, all in with ace-3 offsuit. James folding 9-7 suited in the big blind. I don't know that I would have had the ability to do that for the opportunity to end the tournament. As we progress, we're getting closer and closer to Mr. Miller's prediction of ending by hand 116. Mutu now is a 3-1 dog. And James is being very patient, surrendering.
Not calling, so I'll say fine.
You can see Mutu's famous smile. Once again, he's been airing this smile all day long in the tournament. James letting him know, I'm just going to fold if I know I'm not going to call anything. James now with queen 9 offsuit in the big blind, and Mutu now with 7-3 offsuit. Mutu has 20 big blinds to start the hand. Looking for a double up. If Mutu doubles up, they will essentially be even stacked once again to each other. The board is Jack 4, Ace, Ace. Neither player connecting. Mutu still with 7-3 offsuit. James with queen 9 offsuit. No one has any part of this. Check, check. Queen high good. You can hear the laughter from Mutu. Enjoying the heads-up battle. Hand 112.
Next hand, guys, mine's are gonna be 10, 20, 20. Raise 35.
So to the flop we go. 5 ace ace flop. Mutu with 8-7 offsuit and James with 8-4 diamonds in the backdoor diamond draw. He does have 4 diamonds now. Nobody's connected anything. James does have the flush draw. They're just about flipping at the moment. Looks like a chop from here. It is a split. Check, check, showdown. Split this up and on to the next.
Should bet the turn again.
Yeah.
Blind split.
Here we go. Hand number 114, James with pocket 8s on the button. He is first stack. Mutu with queen 4 offsuit in the big blind. Mutu currently has 17 big blinds to start the hand. James has 46. Mutu is very much looking to double up. James is looking to end it and take the ring. Pocket eights connects with bottom set. Mutu does have a straight draw option if a 10 comes. Both of them probably liking this board. James is going to bet 25,000 out. Mutu is needing a 10 and only a 10. Eric is coming down, joining me in the booth. He's putting a headset on now. All right. Eric's getting a headset.
there, that's
I
way
hear
better.
that.
That's
There
way
we
better.
go. Welcome in. All right.
So, spoiler.
Okay.
Um,
I like spoilers.
These guys go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They are dead even in chips. James will get up to crushing him 90%, and then Muthu comes up, and they just go back and forth and teeter-totter.
This is not the spoiler I was
No,
hoping
it's
for.
horrible. They're dead even in chips right now.
Is-
So they're pulling them off the table. We're gonna shut off this stream right now. We're not gonna know. We'll tell you guys who wins.
Oh, look at that.
But we're
is a
already
mystery.
down. We're losing players on day 2.
We don't want that.
And they said no. We gotta swap this out. So go ahead and cut away to this. You can mute the table right now.
All right.
As much as I hate this because this is super exciting poker, did not. Hey, hi guys.
Hey.
Watch how cool this is. Watch
Look
what
at
he's
that.
gonna do right now. He's gonna go bink and pull up this cool stuff. So
I like cool stuff.
We didn't think this was gonna last 4 hours.
We had no clue. 2.5
No
hours
idea.
was
No idea.
incredibly inaccurate.
And then they started busting out 2 at a time on day 2. So mistakes were made. But it was an exciting 4 hours.
It was a fun gamble.
We're not going to be able to see who won on stream. We'll tell you, when you tune into day 2, they're at the final table. Let me fix my name tag there. And
I should probably sit up straight.
yeah, they're watching now.
Look at that.
So yeah, we're going to jump in right now. We're 8-handed. As soon as we started losing people, we said, okay,
Yep.
sorry guys.
All right.
We're going to do the other stream.
So do they stay here and then we just go straight to the other, or do we have to
Yeah,
go to
we're-
a whole new link?
We're going to go to a different link because
Different link.
I've got the other link already
Everybody
up
who's
there.
watching now,
So
flip over and join us.
go jump on the Poker News Power Stack.
And we'll update you
Day
there on the
2.
heads up.
Perfect. And stream, brother. Give him 30 seconds. So
All
do
right.
it.
Thank you much.
Excellent.